Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Giant Conversation of This Topic Talks. I'm your host, Aaron Klingsmith. Today, we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about a single mom who did something really cool for her son. We're also going to talk about some cops who helped out some Girl Scouts. We're going to head on into Mark's Multiverse, where we're going to talk about materials that can revolutionize our life. Mark had to throw some big words in there. SpaceX test rocket fire engines and building fights pollution. We're also going to go into Movie Madness Monday, where we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy and the Grammys here on Topic Talks. Welcome to Topic Talks, where we talk about the topics you care about and leave out the ones you don't.
We talk about what most news sources don't: media, movies, and the multiverse.
We even invite guests to come talk topics with us.
Come join in on the fun.
Let's get started. Hey everybody, once again, I'm Aaron Klingsmith, and today we've got a lot to talk about, but we have Mark in studio as always.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
And I'm going to screw up his name. What was it? It was Jake, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Ah, I got it right.
Yep.
We've got Jake in our studio with us. It's one of Mark's friends. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, we've known each other a long time, actually.
Yeah, since like elementary school, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn's.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't really hung out probably since like a year ago, you'd say, right?
Yeah, right around like a couple years ago is when we actually started talking and hanging out more. It's funny.
But no, other than that, I just go to school, college. I'm gonna go into teaching. So that's quite a ride.
I have a friend who's become a teacher. Actually, my best friend has become a teacher. And he likes it, but there's times when he doesn't, because you've got those he's got the points where he's like, I'm always working. He's either grading, we hung out because he lives in Lansing.
Yeah.
And so we found a halfway point. It's like a truck stop diner type thing. And he was sitting there grading papers. And just because he's always working, he can never stop. He's got to have those papers graded by the next time he's got class. So that's kind of, it's kind of a must.
I can relate to that too. It's kind of the same boat I'm in. Where
It's like just 'cause
I have to be on my feet or busy all the time. I just
Right.
can't be sitting.
It's
Yeah.
like just because you're the one who's the teacher doesn't mean you don't have homework.
Oh, right. No,
Yeah,
because
and-
the more homework they give, the more homework, they get.
I think
'Cause-
one misconception people hear too is they say summer is almost a vacation.
Right.
You as a
not.
teacher, not exactly.
Not usually. I mean, and then you've also got the point where some teachers have the option to take their salary over the summer.
Yeah.
Or they can just take it straight up, or they can get more during the school year. And then I think the smart ones are the ones who take it over the summer too, because then that gives them a little bit of income.
It's a good idea.
Because the other ones are like, oh yeah, I got a lot of money, and then they get to summer, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Nah,
So-
man, I'll take mine stacked. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, no. So it's rough being a teacher. I mean, he loves it. He loves his students, and he actually made a mistake. Remember how I told you to sit there grading papers?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were essays because he's an English teacher.
Oh,
And
okay.
he made the mistake of, because he's like, oh, this will be easy. He made all the essays due at the same time for all of his classes, and then he didn't think about it. And now he had to grade all of those essays.
Yeah. It's like head was about to explode. Probably.
Well, but and then not all of them were doing that well. I mean, the class he was grading in front of me, he's like, barely anybody got an A. Most of them got B's and C's.
That's the other thing that kind of scares me when I finally get into that career, because you're gonna get that one student eventually where you have to give them
Well, it wasn't one
The
student. It
tough
was like an
love.
entire class
yeah, that's
that
even worse,
he
too.
like.
These kids are horrible. They all suck. They're terrible.
Well, it wasn't that. It was
They-
either they didn't read the content or the paper wasn't written well.
Well, plus,
Oh, yeah.
plus sometimes you get, it's not the student, sometimes you get that teacher who just poorly defines the assignments. I mean, I remember back at Specs we had an instructor who did that, remember?
I remember
Yes.
just back in middle school, we've had teachers like that too.
Mm-hmm. But, it happens. Sometimes it's the students, sometimes it's the material, and sometimes it's the teacher, every situation is different.
It is, or it's the student thinking it's the teacher when the teacher's trying to do something, just trying to, get you through the curriculum.
Hashtag blame game.
They're all vital links in this chain.
I was gonna
none
say.
of them can be broken.
I was gonna say it's funny because one of my favorite teachers in middle school is the one that was hated the most, but he's the one that, he didn't put up with any crap. He literally, if you failed, you failed.
Yeah.
And he was the one that told me to my face, he's like, I will fail you. I like you. You're a good kid, but I will fail you if you don't, and I barely passed this class. and I will forever be thankful for that because it was just kind of like a kick in the gut. Like,
Tough
hey,
love.
Yeah, I've totally had
pretty much.
I've had a lecture like that too before by a teacher. It's like, look, like I'm not trying to be a bad guy, you know.
Yeah. Well, and everybody, no, not a lot of people liked him. I mean, now everybody likes him, but not a lot of people liked him at the time because he was strict. He didn't, bend the rules or let you do stuff in late. It was, if it wasn't in when it was due, zero. That's just how he did it.
I can only imagine how much more stressful that can be for someone who's like a math teacher, you know?
Right.
Because like not everyone loves math, right?
Oh, I hate math.
That's some of the most stressful things to learn or teach, I think.
I remember there was
I could not do that. I'm going into history.
I remember I had a math teacher back in middle school who everybody hated. Jake, you might remember Miss Ovechek.
Kind of. Vaguely.
Everybody hated her, but I was like her best student, and she would give out Twizzlers to people who answer questions right, like those little the licorice.
You got a lot of Twizzlers, didn't you?
No, because
Yes.
I got. Here's the thing: I was good at math. I was the best person in the class. I got all the answers right. I was probably her favorite student, but I hated Twizzlers. So instead, I would rather just take being right and not get a Twizzler. I ran into this teacher like 3 times at Myers. And after a while,
Oh, I think you told me this.
And one day we were at Myers and we ran into her or whatever. And I had never had an energy drink, but I saw an energy drink and I'm like, I kind of want to try a Red Bull. And
Did she buy you?
and she's like, oh well, you know what? I owe you so many Twizzlers. Let me just buy you this Red Bull. So my 7th grade math teacher bought me my first energy drink.
That's funny.
It is.
That is really funny.
Yeah. But history is a really cool subject too. It wasn't always my strongest, but history, people think it's not important, but it is. I mean, here it is. We have to know our history, otherwise it's doomed to repeat itself.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
really important. That was actually the teacher, that was. I don't want to say rough on me, but he was the one that said I'll fail you. It was a history teacher.
Mine was a math teacher.
Was it?
Yeah.
I remember we had a history teacher once. His name was Mr. Zwolinski, and we were studying like World War I or something with the trench warfare. And
Right.
he had us turn all our desks against each other and like throw paper balls at each other to simulate trench warfare. It was
I
fun.
did a mock trial one time.
I did that too.
That
I've
was fun.
also done a debate before.
I did a debate.
I was
we've
like
done
in front of
debates,
a theater full. We even voted over it after. I think
See,
we won by 5%.
We just did a class, and I feel like I was the winner. But it was one of those where we had like an odd class, so my friend who was doing something else, or doing a
okay.
debate with someone else, also got to do it with me too, and I beat the pants off of this dude.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what the teacher said I won, so I was happy with that.
I wish I could say that and I did my mock trial, but I was just a fool.
Well, I
when
wanted
did that.
I wanted to be one of the lawyers, but they wouldn't cast me as one of the lawyers. They wouldn't let that happen.
I was a defense attorney, and like I like to play video games
Right.
and stuff. I don't know if you ever like play stuff like Phoenix Wright or anything.
No.
It's like a lawyer game. I was like
Okay.
almost imagining that kind of scenario when I walked up there. I remember in like high school.
It's like I
Then
got
like
this.
actually get like a testimony. I'm like, oh crap.
You were like, oh, you
It's
were
like,
like Sheldon
I
when
can't
he's like,
just
yeah,
hit
I
the
just
A
binged
button.
on. He's like, I just binged on Law and Order.
Yeah.
I've got this.
You'd like that basically.
Oh man, good times.
Oh,
School was
I
good
don't know.
times.
Yeah,
So
there's some
sometimes-
crazy stories. back
Sometimes
then I
good
have.
times, sometimes not. Either way.
Yeah, I don't miss it overall. Like, some
Okay.
people get melancholy over that.
Well, anyway, it's good to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Let's jump on into our first topic, shall we?
Yeah, for sure.
So there's this single mom, and by the way, I saw a picture. She's actually kind of hot.
Oh my God.
I just want
Aaron.
to say she was a blonde. I have a thing for blonde.
Oh boy.
Anyway, no. So she's
Mr.
a single
Hillary
mom.
Duff.
And here's what makes the story interesting. So she's a single mother, and her son came home one day with a flyer for it's like a dad's breakfast. It was called like Dads and Donuts.
It's like bring your dad to work or bring your dad to school or something, right?
Well, it
Bring
was
it down to Dad
I
Day.
think it was off. I don't know where it was at, but it was like Dads and Donuts or something like that was the name of it. And so she asked her son. She's like, "Well, do you want Grandpa to go with you?" And the cool part about it is he's like, "No." And he said the reason being is because she is his mother and his father. Is the reason that this kid gave to his mother.
Right, single mom.
Right? Single mom. So what she did is so she embraced that, and it came time for the day for her to go, and she found the manliest clothes she owned. Literally like a t-shirt, a pair of sweatpants, ball cap. and used makeup and painted on facial hair,
Yeah, like tube socks.
like dressed up like a dude,
Oh, that's awesome.
just so that her son didn't feel left out.
That's cool.
So
That is pretty awesome.
that's what I'm saying. And I mean, you could obviously tell that it was fake facial hair, but who cares? I mean, the fact that because it's like she had like blonde hair kind of coming out of the, but it didn't matter. It was just like it. It's kind of the thought that counts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She's
I
like,
just
well,
saw
let's
a
do
picture
this.
of her too.
Oh, here it is.
It's
Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
it's
there.
oh yeah, I just saw it too with the beard. Yeah, it's not even like that serious of a getup.
Yeah, it's like a
Not
Sharpie
obviously
goatee.
It
a
was
joke.
just a pair of sweatpants, a t-shirt, and that's actually a very manly t-shirt. Did you read what it said?
What
Oh,
does
no, I
it say? It
didn't see
says
that.
Gubler Pyrotechnics. It's a
It's
pyro
a
crew.
pyrotechnic. It's a
It's like
a
pyro
Iron
crew
shirt.
shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
So so after this event, she took to Facebook, and she posted this, and I'm gonna read the whole post. It may be a little lengthy, but this is something that I like to do.
Fine. I'm kidding.
So it says, when I became a single mother over 3 years ago, I made a promise to myself that I would do anything I could, even if that meant going out of my comfort zone to give my kids a normal life and the same experiences as other kids. We have accomplished a lot. Trips alone, teaching my son how to play catch, killing bugs with minimal screaming, counting countless memories and a normal life. But when my kindergartner came home with a paper saying that they were having a dads and donuts, my heart kind of sank. I finally sat him down and asked if he wanted to ask his grandpa to go. He just smiled and said, "No, I want you to go. You're my mom and my dad." This morning I gathered up my best dad outfit, painted on some facial hair, and went to the breakfast with my sweet son. And I was embarrassed, but I couldn't help but smile when he introduced me to his little friends, saying, "This is my mom. She's my dad too." I brought her. I've been trying my best to let them know that they are loved. I wonder I wonder a lot if there's actually succeeding at it. When I went to leave, man, I did good the entire time. When I went to leave, he ran after me, gave me a hug tight around my neck, and whispered, "Mom, I know you'll always be there and do anything for me. Thank you. I love you." Kissed my cheek and ran off. I hope he remembers this day, 'cause I'll never forget it. Forget it or his sweet words.
My God, Aaron, I'm about to cry.
I know, me too.
That is like the sweetest possible thing. Like, I try to encourage my mom all the time. I tell her that she's such a great mom and that she does so much for us and all that because, she's a mom of like 4. And,
Right.
And being a mom is a full-time job even as you get older.
Oh yeah.
And it's every chance I get, I try to encourage her and tell her how good she is as a mom and that she does so much for us, and it melts her heart every time.
Right.
But it's like, and this is just another prime of example of how some kids are just like they're so innocent. Their innocence is so pure.
It is.
And
That's what surprises me too, when you say what this kid says to his mom. It's like touching.
It is.
To be so young but think that way too. That you're my mom and my dad.
Well, and that shows that she is doing a really good job raising him, saying
Yeah.
hey, you don't have an actual dad. I'm doing both roles.
Yeah, and he
And-
acknowledges that.
Oh yeah, he
And-
acknowledges it and kind of embraces it.
yes, it's another example of breaking our society's boundaries. And,
It is.
This is the kind of thing that's important. And another thing it shows is that prejudice and all those people who don't accept certain things about the way we live in today's world, it shows that kind of stuff is taught.
Yeah.
It really is.
And really, I mean, these are the kind of kids that are have the most hope for the future, in my opinion.
You know what? I actually think we are. I want to say we don't even have to be taught these skills. I feel like we naturally have them, and if they're not nurtured, then we lose them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like the whole nature versus nurture.
Pretty
concept.
much. I mean, if if you nurture this kindness and all these good features, those are the ones that are going to
Mhm.
stick out. But if you and it's also the role model that you have. If you're going around smoking different things, drinking all the time, and being a bad influence, that's exactly how your kid is gonna end up.
Yeah,
And if you're going through,
Especially children,
oh yeah,
because they're like a sponge, you know.
oh
exactly.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna say names, but I know people who they have a child, and they go around and they party all the time and just get into trouble and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, the kid is awesome, and
Yeah.
and I'm close to these people, and we get along great, and I treasure them, as close loved ones. But at the same time, it's like in this kind of lifestyle, the kid is seeing all this, and it's a great kid and everything, but they're gonna grow up and they're gonna think all this stuff is okay.
well, and
Yeah.
that's exactly right. My stepbrother was, you know, when I first met my stepbrother, he was very, they were very strict. My stepdad was very strict on him. My stepdad kind of laxed back a little bit, and that's when my stepbrother started hanging out with the wrong crowd, the wrong people, and that's just kind of how it spiraled into the guy he is today, is because of who he was hanging out with, and how kind of near the end a lacking of that, if
Yeah.
he got in trouble, he just kind of, his dad got mad at him but didn't do anything.
Yeah. I think it's very important for when you have a child. It's good to not be too over controlling, you know.
Mhm.
Still let them have that freedom. But like for example, my parents, they were kind of lenient like that too. I thought growing up, I was allowed to go out and stuff
Mhm.
like
Right.
that during the night. But I remember they were still very strict if I broke any rules.
Oh right. No, that was a very, because my grandma, I was at her house for most of my life, and so and I never really went out after, stayed out late or anything like that. And I got the opportunity once, and she let me stay out. And even when I got older, she was like, "Hey, just check in. I don't care how
Yeah.
late you're out. Just make sure you check in.
That was like mine too.
Just be a responsible
I
adult.
just want to make sure you're okay. Check in. Let me know you're okay."
Yeah, nowadays with cell phones and stuff,
and she
is
was
that
like,
really too much to ask for?
she's like, give me a call by midnight. Let me know what the plan is.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Call her by midnight and say, I'll probably be home in a few hours. Or something
Yeah.
like that,
So the kind of parent that bothers me is the one that would not do that.
Oh, yeah,
Let's say they never contact their kid again for the rest of their nights.
Oh,
at
right.
all.
Or you've got the one that keeps contacting them or won't let them go out like that.
Yeah.
Because
like
then
the
you're
opposite now.
Then
you're
you're
kind
just
of
constricting.
you're sheltering them.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people. I feel like that's how a lot of people. They start to lack certain skills.
Yeah,
Like
social
social
skills.
skills.
So certain social skills, because they only have social interaction at school. Then they go home, do homework, and that's it.
That's why stuff like homeschooling is a big debate among
See,
people.
I'm not a big fan of homeschooling. I'm not saying it's horrible.
Yeah.
But my problem with it is because whoever's homeschooled, they gain their parents' perspective on everything.
Well, it's
Mhm.
also a whole manner of, as you grow up in these situations, well, not situations, but I mean, I guess situations. Whether you're being homeschooled or, public schooled, it's also like it grows into a concept of street smarts versus book smarts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
does.
And but I was gonna say I've met too many people where they've been homeschooled and they have the same exact beliefs as their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they haven't been taught any different. They haven't had any, interaction. Like going to a public school, I've met, other kids whose parents have different beliefs.
Right. Like
And so
some,
I've learned
yeah.
those beliefs, and I've learned, this, and I've kind of started developing my own, and that's how I've become my own person,
Yeah.
rather than just a shadow of my parents.
Exactly.
And it's
going to-
interesting because I have a friend who's like that too, but like the opposite way, where his parents, like they were too lenient. Like they're
Yeah.
on that side where they don't really like pay too much attention.
Right. He'd go out and whatever.
Well, that was the interesting thing. This guy would never take advantage of that though. He was still like a stay-at-home kid. I
right.
remember growing up.
Well, there's a lot of those, and I mean, there are some kids who are born with, certain
Like
disorders.
introverts or something.
Right. Or if their parents are introverts,
Yeah, that too.
they'll become introverts.
Can still rub off.
Now, the thing that really bugs me are people who kind of force their kids to get married before they can move in with someone.
Yeah, it's
That
weird.
bothers
like the
me.
whole
Like a
Catholic
dowry
concept.
almost.
And it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not saying that they've got to have sex or anything. I'm saying like just to live together. But like it's
But not be
so,
married.
right, but not be married, because say someone is not even living with their parents,
Yeah.
but their parents still have that kind of control. That's unhealthy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's like the strict like Catholic concept.
Kind of. I mean, there's people who aren't Catholic who are just Christian, Presbyterian, things like that are that strict. And to me, it's weird. It's like, okay, well, when they reach that certain age, if they're out of your house,
Yeah.
they can come to you with questions, concerns, things like that. But it's pretty much like, okay, you don't have much control over them anymore. Let them make the decisions they need to make.
Sorry.
In order to make the mistakes they need to make to learn from them.
Exactly. You can't learn if you can't make mistakes.
My aunt said once, my great aunt, she's like, I don't understand why kids can't just take knowledge, like can't just take the advice of their parents. But she's like, I understand they just have to live through it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it sucks, but that's just kind of how it is.
Well, I guess my stance is, you can only do so much on how a parent raises their child. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they're still going to try and put that worldview on their children.
Right.
And I think the way children should take it is, I like the idea of questioning everything you ever hear or read. Like, never just take anything for face value.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a huge problem I feel like we have in this day and age is people, they'll read, oh, this celebrity's dead. Wait, what? And it'll go viral. And it's like, no.
How many people have fake deaths before?
They're right there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Nobody, like, if I see someone died, I'll be like, no. And I'll go and I'll do the research, and there'll be an article, this person is still alive. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discard it. You know what I mean?
It's just like that one time we had that assignment in class where it's like, hey, discuss a rumor that you heard that you found out to be false.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost all the time you read an article of like the 24/7 news media.
Right.
Like one article is always going to say something else in a paragraph.
Or it's like those funny articles where people claim that somebody's back from the dead, like they were in hiding. Like, I'm sorry, but Tupac is dead.
So is Elvis.
And Elvis.
Elvis too.
They're dead. They're not coming
Same
back.
Same with Robin Williams.
Or Paul Walker. They're dead. They're gone. They're not coming back. There's no conspiracy. They're not in hiding. Sorry to burst anybody's bubble who thinks that.
Yeah, it's just I feel like people are so gullible these days, and that's really what's scary.
Hey, Aaron, did you know that the word gullible is spelled out on your ceiling? I'm kidding.
Really, Mark? You're gonna go there?
No, I'm not going there. I just had to do it.
But no, like that's kind of what I was going into, like what I say before, though, where it's you have to teach children to like question anything you hear or learn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right, like
a lot of children just take what their parents just say as a fact because
that's all they know.
They're telling you that's so, and the other reason is, well, this guy's like protecting me. Why would he lie to me?
Right.
Right.
It's kind of like dogs. I don't know if you know this, but dogs will take anything from their owner. So like if you try to give your dog something, even if he knows it's like he whether he knows it's bad for him or not, he will take it from you because you are his caregiver. He trusts you. He trusts you.
Yeah.
When you get that level of trust with the dog, you can give him anything, and they'll eat it because it's
like that.
They have that trust, so they trust that it won't hurt them.
Yeah, you can almost see that same mentality in like a big group of people too, and it's like a hive mind now.
One thing that I hate, and I learned about this when I was studying forensics, is that it's something called the bystander effect. Does anybody know what that is?
I don't think so, but I've heard of like group psychology and stuff.
So the bystander effect, what it is
it's like the bandwagon.
If there was like a block of tall buildings, all like apartment buildings, and there's a square in the middle.
Yeah.
There's a murder committed right there, and everybody witnesses it.
Yeah.
Everybody is gonna think in their mind, "Oh, there's all these people. Somebody else will do something about it. I don't have to."
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's called the bystander effect. They're gonna say, "Oh, well, there's enough people here. I don't have to." Basically, find themselves an excuse so they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that our not even our society, like just our human race does that as a whole. There's been several occasions in history that has actually happened. There was a lady that was murdered. Everybody witnessed it, and like they didn't witness the actual murder, but they witnessed,
Yeah.
that she was laying there, and everybody had that mentality. They're like, oh, somebody else would call. Nobody called, and she
Yeah.
died right there.
Another great example too would be like the JFK assassination.
Oh yeah.
If you know much about that. Like when he was first shot, people just kind of just stood around there aimlessly. It's like confused, just hoping like the cops would do something. But even
Right.
the cops were hoping someone else would do something first.
Right. Yeah, no, I had to study.
It was seemed like a good while until like they walked up to this grassy knoll or whatever.
Right. No, I took a forensics class, and we actually had to come up. One of our assignments is we had to come up with a theory, with the information that was given to us that we know. We had to come up with a theory of what we think happened. Now, don't ask me what I remember what mine is, because I have no clue.
That's okay.
It was a long time ago. That was back in high school. But it was really interesting because there were a lot of people that had a grassy knoll theory. There were a lot of people that had, a third bullet. Like, it literally
the magic bullet.
spanned from everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I've seen so many documentaries, and it's funny because there are certain things that I guess we're never destined to know, and I feel like that is one of them.
Yeah, after a while, time just erases evidence.
Well, there's still people that are, trying to figure it out, and there's still people who, think all these different theories, and in the end, you can think all you want to, discover all you want to, but nothing's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
It can always just be a lot more complex than
Yeah.
any of us could ever fathom.
Well, and I
too.
mean, there's
like
been-
maybe it's all of the plans at the same. Well, I mean, all these conspiracies at the same time.
Right. Yeah, no, anyway. So, kind of reeling it back into our story. I thought this was a great one. It was, I saw the article pop up, and I read it, and I was, like Mark said, I was almost in tears. I'm like, this
So
is
cute.
awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
And
it makes me hopeful, like you said.
Hopefully.
and that's kind of the point of what we do here is we try to, bring hope back to, humanity, because there's a lot of things that, make you lose faith in humanity.
Yep.
Like, all gullible people. It's a major one. So moving on. So here's another kind of feel-good story. So there was this Girl Scout stand in California that was robbed at gunpoint.
Who robs Girl Scouts?
That's my first question. Okay, who?
Yeah, because like they're always in front of malls and stuff.
They're in front of
usually.
malls, stores. Boy Scouts do it too.
Yeah, you're
I was a
right.
Boy Scout for
Yeah, we
years,
sold
and we
popcorn.
sold popcorn in front of Kmart's, Myers, Walmart.
Hollywood, Fast Forward Video.
Yeah,
Any location that would let us put a stand in front of their establishment for a day or two. That's what we would do. And actually, it was funny because when I first started selling popcorn, it was just a sheet. We went around with a sheet, but we also had the show and sells. It's where we would go and we'd go and sit at a location. Well, that seemed to work out so much better than the order forms did that they started doing that for people. So like you would say, okay, well I want this many of this many of this many of this. So like you would have a stock of your own.
yeah.
And you would take that around and just sell that and then return the money or the stock you had left over
Okay.
or a combination of thereof. So anyway, so these Girl Scouts are out. I got the feeling that it was just like one girl and her mother. It's kind of what it sounded like.
That's what it usually looks like, those booths.
Yeah, they really didn't say, but that's just what it sounded like because they said the mother and the daughter were both okay.
Like the most I've seen is maybe 4 people, like a
Right.
Girl Scout.
Yeah,
Right.
you usually don't see too many. Anyway, so robbed at gunpoint, and that was already traumatic enough. Well, the cops went in there and investigated, and then here's where it takes a kind of a cool turn. The cops buy up the rest of the product that they had,
All about those thin
and
mints.
then fundraised to make up what was stolen.
That's nice. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of that story I think we did on the show when those cops were pulling people over in the hot summer.
Yes,
and
and
they were
giving
giving
them
them
ice cream.
cones.
I remember
Really?
that.
That
was a good
nice,
story.
That
Never
was a
heard
good
about
story.
that.
That was one
Yeah.
of the stories we covered on the show. It was one of the smaller stories that people don't typically hear about.
And it was just one of those things where they weren't pulling people over for any like
They were
bad
pulling
reason. They were just
minor infractions that normally they let slide anyways.
Pretty sure I heard something like that before about like a kid just selling lemonade once too, like just getting hassle.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stories like this. I mean, we've covered anything from something like this to a taxi driver finds, $15,000 and returns it.
Oh my gosh.
and then gets a lousy $100.
No, that was more than 15,000. It was like 187,000.
That's exactly what it was. I remember that.
And
he got $100.
Yeah, he
as a
returned
reward.
it, and the guy claimed it, and he gave him $100 as a reward. Which honestly, I mean, $100 is nice, but
It's a lot
here
of
it
Girl
is.
Scout cookies.
If you have it in you to
That is a lot of Girl
return,
Scout cookies.
if you have it in you to return $187,000, you deserve more than a $100 reward.
You do.
But I mean, let's be honest. If I lost that kind of money, I'd be calling myself an idiot. But I'd probably be giving the guy at least $1,000. I mean, like to be such a good person that you would actually return all that money. I mean, you're like an angel, man.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I don't know if I would have. So.
We all of us on the show were questioning whether or not we would or wouldn't. It was tough. It's a tough decision. But
So anyway,
either way.
the officers have donated over $1,000 to kind of recoup what was stolen. I mean, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
So that's actually, like I said, this
Nice.
was just another short little story of just something really nice that they did, or that some officers did to help out this mother and her daughter.
Right.
And so I thought I'd share it.
Yes. Very nice.
You know what else I'm gonna share?
What are you gonna share?
Movie Madness Monday.
Wrong one. That one.
Welcome to
The multiverse. Still puts a smile every time I hear it.
I pressed the wrong
I
button
like
this
it.
time.
It's a nice ring.
So, moving on to Mark's multiverse. I got a little bit of cool stuff for you guys today. The first
A little bit or a lot of it?
a lot of it.
Okay.
Anyways, this first one is about.
Is it really cool,
I think you might think this one's cool.
or is it boring?
This first story actually is a little bit of a fashion thing,
So
which
I'm
is
gonna be bored.
totally
Exactly
out
what
of
I
my
mean.
realm. But listen, it's cool though.
I'm listening.
It's about this new material that can revolutionize the way we live. It's called graphene. And a single layer of this new material is 1,000 times thinner than a human hair, yet 200 times stronger than steel. Scientists are still figuring out how to use it, but it's already found one new application.
They're gonna make clothes, right?
As a fabric in a
Steel
very
clothes.
special dress.
Steel clothes.
It's so extraordinary, the scientist who invented it won a Nobel Prize. It all began with a pencil that contains graphite, a mineral made up of sheets of carbon in a honeycomb pattern. As you write, the graphite sheets slide off the pencil's tip. Normally, these layers are stacked on top of each other, but when you isolate them, you get a single layer of carbon atoms, otherwise known as graphene. Back in 2004, two scientists from Manchester, England, used Scotch tape to isolate graphene. It's 1,000 times thinner than human hair, but while invisible to the naked eye, it's 200 times stronger than steel. Flexible like rubber and energy conducting, and now it's become a little black dress designed by a team from Cute Circuit, the London-based fashion label that specializes in wearable technology. It's actually been used to illuminate stars such as U2's Bono and Katy Perry, but their latest piece is light years ahead of the others. Now, this is different than your average material or dress. The first way that comes to mind is that it's a lot more intelligent. So if you just turn on a switch and it just lights up, that's a simple circuit like you'd have on a Christmas tree or a flashlight. But with graphene, it's actually monitoring and breathing, it's monitoring the breathing of the user and storing that in a microprocessor. So in a sense, the dress is a computer in itself. The result is lights on the dress that can change colors with the rhythm of the heartbeat. Graphene technology is already being developed for cars and computers to medical equipment. These first steps are just the beginning. So really, like I said, it's a fabric that's thinner than human hair, 200 times stronger than steel, and it can be used as a circuit. So really, it really is. It's got all these different. There's all these different factors about it that we could utilize into new technology. Imagine imagine using something like this to make, for example,
A super suit.
a super suit.
Exactly.
I can be a superhero.
Yes, actually, that's what I was gonna say.
Does it
like
stop
a
a
suit.
speeding bullet though?
I was gonna say we
You
could
know,
probably
like
use
you
this.
could use it for like astronaut outfits.
There you
honestly.
go.
There you go. Yeah, you
Yeah.
could use it. You could use it as a fabric for some type of spacesuit or some type of new bulletproof vest, or
If it's bullet resistant, make me a Superman outfit.
Yeah, if it really is bulletproof.
Actually, Batman.
Like,
I
what
want
are you
Batman.
doing?
it's pretty crazy. But either way, I thought this was really cool. I mean, here it is. It's you could do so much with this. You could
Yeah.
it's like kind of like the same concept as like hemp fiber.
Okay.
Well, the thing that got my attention the most when he said that is I was kind of confused at first, and they said the guy won a Nobel Prize for it.
Mm-hmm.
But what really made me understand it was near the end. I think they said they can use it to measure the rhythm of heartbeats.
Yeah, we
Like
could
I
use
can
this.
definitely see the practicality out of that.
So is it like a suit I could put on and it would be like a giant Fitbit?
Maybe it's like maybe
Essentially,
think about
yeah.
like using it for hospital beds and stuff.
Ooh.
You know.
They could probably
Blankets.
they could
Yeah.
probably implement it in such ways. I'm sure that
Or they could make like a skin tight suit that instead of like the normal garments
like
that
a
you wear.
onesie.
Well, yeah. So instead of like the butt showing thing that you got to wear now, this like skin tight suit can monitor your heart rate and all these
like
different things.
have it connect to like whatever like.
Yeah, you just have like one
records all
cord
that
going
stuff.
off of this suit, and it could probably measure
Well,
your heart rate,
maybe not
your
even
blood pressure.
maybe not even one cord. I mean, come on, we have like Bluetooth technology and all that stuff. Who's to say we wouldn't be able to make this compatible? I mean, like I said, it acts as a circuit.
Okay, at some point I could see it being that compatible, but I feel like to start off we'll have like wires coming from it.
Either way, it's a really cool concept. I really hope we get to hear more about this because this, like I said, this material could be revolutionary for us.
I think it could be.
And we could implement it in so many different ways. We could implement it in cars, computers, hospitals, medical equipment, everything. I mean,
Okay, real quick, what would you
Close.
do with it if you could get it? Mark, go.
Oh, I don't even know what I would do with it.
What would you do? Come on.
I'd make never-ending socks.
There
out of
you
them.
go.
Never and
That's an idea.
They're never gonna tear.
There you
Never
go.
gonna tear.
Never.
I
Do they
bet-
ever lose their like cushiony? You know what I'm talking about? Like
I
when
don't know
you
if
get
it
a
would be cushiony.
like you get a fresh pair of socks and then they got that nice cushion in
You
it.
might have to wear another pair of socks under it.
Maybe
to
I would
get that cushiony feel.
maybe I would make like a tug of war rope for my dog that I never have to
That'd
worry
be
about
pretty
wearing
good
down.
too. The ultimate dog toy.
The ultimate
I was
dog
gonna say
toy.
because my dog has like I bought a rope with a handle on both sides and we accidentally left it in his kennel. Yeah, I'm not playing tug of war with that thing anymore.
My dog tears everything apart that I get him.
Mine does too. Mine is about I'm trying to remember how old he is.
Anyways, me and my dog came up with a new game because like a lot of time he gets riled up and like he'll roll over on his belly and he's just got like his mouth open like he's like ready to bite you, but it's like
Right.
in a playful way. And I came up with this new game with him where it's kind of like keep away, except it's with I just play with his mouth, like he'll have his mouth open and bare teeth and all that stuff, and like I'll press like his soft palate, like the roof of his mouth,
Right.
and like he'll try to like nibble it, and it's like keep away. Basically, I try to press the top of his mouth and pull my finger out before he can nibble it, and it's a fun little
I'm
game.
waiting for him to chomp off your finger.
I know, right?
Oh, he's gotten me a couple times,
Like
but
this
it's
video,
just
like
a fun
the
little game.
alligator.
I
He'd
mean,
just be like, my finger!
I mean, it's no more painful than playing with a cat who has just this vicious claws and
Yeah, cats
and
can
teeth.
be evil.
I mean,
Oh, trust me, I know.
I just got a fresh
There's one right over there.
I just got a fresh batch of scratches last night from my girlfriend's cat Boots.
I like that
my
name.
my girlfriend's sister-in-law had a cat named Boots.
This cat's
Boots.
adorable. She looks like she's got like the Batman kind of fur style, like with the white face and
I
the
just
and the
thought
white
of
belly,
Dora when I heard Boots.
and like the little like
Well,
white paws.
This one had like all four paws were white,
That's how Boots is.
and it was like had kind of longish hair, but it was the like friendliest cat in the world.
Oh yeah.
But sadly the cat ran into the middle of the road.
Okay.
Well,
enough
no.
of that. Enough of that.
Got loose and they couldn't find her. So
Okay.
Got some tickets to a nice cat casino.
right.
There we go. Anyways, so enough of that. Moving on to the next story. SpaceX test fired its rocket engines at a historic pad. After working through the weekend, SpaceX test fired the Falcon 9 rocket's first stage engines atop historic pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center last Sunday, the critical milestone in the road to a February 18th launch of a space station resupply mission. The Falcon 9, mounted on a transporter erector, was moved to SpaceX's
Hold
processing
up.
hangar.
Did you just use the word erector?
That's what it's called. It's a transporter erector. It's the thing that raises the rocket up to make it point upward.
Continue.
It
I'm
is
gonna leave it alone.
scientifically correct.
They knew what that meant too.
Anyways, it was moved from SpaceX's processing hangar at the base of the former shuttle pad up an incline to the top of the firing stand before dawn Friday. The rocket was then erected to a vertical launch position in preparation for the so-called hot fire test.
Hot fire, come on. Man.
I know, right? All SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets undergo such static firings before each launch to verify all ground and flight systems are ready for takeoff. In this case, the test also marked a crucial validation of extensive modifications needed to convert the repurposed launch complex for the use by SpaceX. At about 4:10 p.m. on Sunday, white vapor could be seen venting from the booster, a normal sight during fueling operations, and a few minutes later, at 4:30 p.m., a billowing cloud of dirty brown exhaust could be seen shooting away from the base of the pad as the rocket's 9 Merlin 1D engines ignited, throttled up, and then shut down. Assuming telemetry confirms a successful test and no major problems develop, SpaceX hopes to launch the Dragon cargo ship carrying more than 5,200 pounds of supplies and equipment to the International Space Station at 10:01 a.m. on February 18th. It will be the first launch from Pad 39A since the orbiter Atlantis blasted off on a shuttle program's final flight in July 2011. During preparations for the hot fire test September 1st at the nearby Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, a Falcon 9 exploded in a huge fireball 5 minutes before engine ignition. The rocket and its $200 million satellite payload were destroyed, and Launch Complex 40 was heavily damaged. SpaceX ultimately concluded that the failure was triggered by the rupture of a high-pressure helium bottle inside the liquid oxygen tank of the rocket's second stage that was caused in part by an ultra-low propellant temperature. Procedures have since been modified to prevent a repeat of the failure, and SpaceX successfully launched a Falcon 9 on January 14th from Vandenberg Air Force Base, California. If all goes well, the company will follow the Falcon 9 Dragon flight with the launch of an EchoStar communication satellite around March 1st. So really, this is kind of like SpaceX's latest big mission. They're going to be resupplying the satellite so they can continue all their research.
Okay.
Like all these names too.
I know. I always
SpaceX,
Dragon
flight.
I always love the
Erect.
names. I always love the names that they come up with for all these different
Falcon
shuttles.
9.
Yeah, Falcon 9. Sounds like Captain Falcon from Smash Bros. Jake, I know you've listened to some of our shows in the past. You probably didn't hear this one because it was a little further back, but I was doing these reports on this satellite called Juno. And it was a satellite that I don't remember if it was NASA or
It
SpaceX
got knocked
launched.
up.
Got knocked out.
Juno, no.
I said it got knocked up.
It's his
Get
little
it,
joke,
Juno?
'cause, like the movie
Hey.
Juno. But basically, another joke is the satellite's name is Juno, and they sent this satellite to go do research on Jupiter and its moons. Now, according to mythology, Juno was the god Jupiter's wife.
Yeah.
And each of Jupiter's moons are named after Jupiter's lovers in mythology. So essentially, Jupiter's wife, Juno, the satellite, is going to check up on him and all his lovers.
And she's gonna find it's not how she left it.
Pretty much. So, I mean, basically, this is the latest project, though, and we'll see how it goes. I'll probably hear more updates about it in coming weeks, and we'll see how it goes.
Moving on.
Moving on to the next story. This is the one that got me most excited, so this is why I put it last. It's about these buildings that are coming soon to China, and they fight pollution. The Chinese city of Nanjing is getting a vertical forest, a set of 2 buildings stylized with around 1,100 trees and a combination of over 2,500 shrubs and plants. But that's not all about how it looks. The Nanjing towers will absorb enough carbon dioxide to make around 132 pounds, or 60 kilograms, of oxygen every day. China's vertical forest is scheduled to be completed sometime next year. Nanjing is an air quality index of 167, which categorizes it as unhealthy. For reference, Sydney and New York both have moderate indexes of around 60, while London is about 100, teetering between moderate and unhealthy. It'll be the third city to get a vertical forest, following ones built in Milan, Italy, Lausanne, and Switzerland. The towers will stand at 354 and 656 feet tall, respectively. The shorter tower will house a Hyatt hotel, while the taller one will be home to a museum, offices, and an architectural school. It won't stop here, though, as the architecture from Stefano Borri has plans to build similar structures in Zhongqing, Shijiazhuang, Guizhou, and Shanghai. They have a lot of interesting names for their cities, but then again, it's a different culture. Either way, when I read about this, I was super excited because this is another one of those things I'm talking about that's going to move us towards saving our planet. So really,
we should have more of these.
It got me really excited. You know, it's one of those things that helps our environment, but it's a totally separate thing from alternative fuels. It's just like another step that we need to take to moving forward and saving our planet, and that makes me happy.
Does it make you happy?
It makes me very happy. But so
And they're like a vertical forest too.
yeah, it's like a vertical forest. Let me see if I can pull up the picture real quick. It's literally
See, like I'm imagining like those old like Babylon gardens.
It looks-
like there's like gardens and stuff hanging off the walls.
it looks like something you would see in one of those After Mankind
Yeah,
shows.
it looks like that.
Like, see, look, it's like a building, and it is just covered in plants and
It
trees
actually,
and
yeah,
shrubs.
it does remind me of The Last of Us, or
Mhm.
like I Am Legend.
Yeah, definitely. This when I saw the picture of this building, that's exactly what it reminded me of. It reminded me of I Am Legend, because here it is.
Like Will Smith should be walking by that thing right now.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, these buildings, they look like they're overgrown, but I don't think they are. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I really hope I get to see one of these one day in our own country.
They should be in every country,
They should be in every city.
every town.
That would be smart.
That would be
It would
smart.
be like
That's why we haven't done it yet.
even make like roofs and stuff solar powered now in buildings and houses. We know we can do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys going around trying to sell the solar roofs. The
Mhm.
problem is there's been too many problems reported with those. So
Yeah, I
not a
think
lot
I
of
heard
people
about
want
that
to do
before.
those.
They get like messy and
Yep,
stuff.
they get messed up. If you get hail, then you're
Yeah.
screwed, and things like that.
Yeah,
It
you
makes
can't
me-
do that in Michigan.
It makes me think about this one story I read about. This happened a while ago now, but you know Akon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He provided single-handedly with his own funding, provided solar housing and power for a significant part of Africa.
Of course, it's Akon.
And and it just goes to show. Well, first of all,
He just had sex.
either way,
and it felt so good.
anyways, it was amazing. Oh my god, I didn't even mean that. But no, really, it's cool that he did that. But also raises the question, all these charities, me and Jake were just talking about this on the way here. It just raises the question, all these charities that are supposedly raising money to help Africa or help starving children and all that stuff, raising money for this specific kind of stuff for decades.
Right.
It's like, where's all this money going? If Akon can single-handedly provide that for Africa, where's all this money that all these quote-unquote charities are saving up for?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know.
Conspiracy.
You
We
shut
should just
conspiracy.
ask Akon to build everything now around the world.
Really, Akon, hear us out. Help us.
This-
We need more
Just do a
alternative energies.
Kickstarter for the Akon charity.
Hey,
Hey, if there was an
the
Akon charity, I would do
charity
that.
for the homeless.
Yeah.
You know what? If Akon was hosting a charity, I would donate. That is the one charity I would
if
donate
Lonely
to.
Island's there, yeah.
But really, like that's like one charity I would actually, donate to because he actually cares about helping this world.
Or
No.
at least he's very good at making it seem like it.
Yeah.
I mean, the most I can
Oh.
say is I'm not there building
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you know what? Everything can change. You never know what the future brings. Anywho,
Anywho,
I'm pretty happy to hear about these buildings fighting pollution. I really hope we get to see them more in the future.
I actually heard before there's some kind of building like that that's made in the ocean too. I don't remember which country, maybe Japan. But it's collecting all of the plastic and garbage now in
I
the
remember-
water.
I did a story on that. Remember?
You did.
Did you know?
Yeah.
You
I
did?
forgot what the city was called, but it's literally like a giant ship city.
Yeah,
And
it looks crazy.
yeah, it looks like something out of like League of
It looked like the
Extraordinary
logo
Gentlemen.
for Destiny.
It looked like something out of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Yeah.
like that big submarine or whatever. Anyways, yeah, the ship, it's a city, and it collects, pollutants. It collects, bottles, bags, canisters, anything that's floating in the ocean that shouldn't be in the ocean.
Pieces of Atlantis. What?
Yeah. Oh no, they
Pieces
got
of
Aquaman.
Atlantis. I thought the whole thing was down under.
Oh no, I think they caught Aquaman.
You know what? I think I know where the song "I Come from the Land Down Under" is from.
Yeah,
Oh.
good point.
Maybe.
It came from Atlantis.
I
For
have that song on my
breaking
phone
barriers.
actually.
I come from the land
Dun,
down
dun,
under.
dun. But either way though, that's another cool thing that we got going on. This ship city that's supposed to end up helping to clean the oceans.
Right.
We got these buildings that are growing trees.
Right.
We have these other cities that have, wind turbines, just off the coast. Meanwhile, collecting current energy like from water.
Right.
We're a lot. There are companies out there who are taking these steps to building a better world. Meanwhile, we have these oil companies overseas, and America is America is incorporated into this as well. We're nothing but greedy pigs who are profiteering off
Boink.
of oil and burning up our atmosphere and don't give pardon my French, a rat's ass about our environment.
Hey.
Makes me think of that South Park episode with BP. When they release Cthulhu or whatever.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh no, I like the episode.
Because I remember they did something like that. Like they didn't release Cthulhu, but I remember they made a very bad oil spill on BP around that same time of that South Park episode.
Oh, I think South Park was making fun of it.
I was gonna say it was probably South Park was making fun of the
yeah,
BP
they were.
oil spill.
They almost did the same kind of commercial. They're just like, sorry.
I was gonna say because South Park doesn't do anything by accident. It's all planned.
I still I like the episode with Kanye West.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
I like The Simpsons.
The Simpsons have predicted so much.
It's great how Lady Gaga looks. It's weird how she looks better as a Simpsons character than she does in real life.
Oh
was she in the Simpsons episode?
She was.
She was.
The train had high heels on it.
Oh my god.
That moved so it looked like they were walking.
I think it's crazy how
there's so many celebrity cameos in The Simpsons after like 30 years.
I think it's unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable how Simpsons predicted Donald Trump being president.
They predicted a lot of stuff.
But the Simpsons have predicted so many things that have actually happened.
Either that or they had insight that we didn't.
I know. There's theories that they're part of the Illuminati.
I was about to say
that.
Simpsons is Big Brother.
Matt Groening is making cartoons for the devil.
Yeah. So what's that say about Futurama?
Well, I mean, at least they're more honest about it, I guess.
I guess with Futurama.
I like Family Guy.
I guess with Futurama, at least that gives us hope to make it to the year 3000.
I have like the first couple of seasons of Family Guy on DVD, I think.
My brother has a Family Guy. You know how the PSP could play like those little cartoon discs?
Yeah.
And my little brother's got like a couple episodes. I think he's got like Stewie's Untold Story on.
I've got that one
there.
Yeah, I've got one of the Star Wars ones. I got the Blue Horizon Star Wars DVD.
I've been utilizing this Amazon Fire Stick that I bought that I got off of Amazon.
I would hope you'd get it off of Amazon.
And it lets you stream stuff. And I got this and I've been using the crap out of it. I've watched so much.
You know what I use the crap out of?
What?
This button.
Movie Madness Monday! Movie Madness Monday!
Perfect transition, actually. And you know what, too? The Amazon Stick plays right into it, too, because I've been using it to watch movies and TV shows and everything.
But you know what you didn't use it to watch?
What?
The Grammys.
Oh, I did not. I think I was working.
That's exactly what you bought it for, too, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
I bought this thing. Grammys?
I bought this thing so I could watch the Grammys, right? Why watch stuff on TV when you could stream it?
Okay, so first off, I watched the Grammys last night. I don't know if you guys seen any clips or anything.
I've seen like snippets.
Okay, so my first question: why does Beyonce's mother have a crooked mouth?
I didn't see a picture of her mom, but I've seen a picture of Beyonce.
So literally, what it was is So I tuned in about this point. It was probably about half over, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and they're like, "Oh," and they're announcing someone, and I'm like, "I've never heard of this person." She's talking, and the whole time I'm staring at her mouth because it's not vertical; it's at a slant.
Yeah.
She's got like a slack jaw.
And she's like turning this
like
way,
those
so it's
anime
almost
mouths.
straight up and down. And I'm like, that can't be. That's fake. No. So I'm staring at this the whole time. Then they're like, and then she says something about being Beyonce's mother, and then the curtain opens up. And that opened up a whole nother can of weird that I don't even want to imagine.
Or you talking about Beyonce and her?
Oh, it was weird.
Like her.
I heard. I didn't
weird.
get a chance to see it, but I heard it was.
It was weird. So that was my first question.
Was it like Lady Gaga weird?
I think she topped Lady Gaga.
Okay.
It was weird.
I have to look this up then.
So, so how it went is like she was wearing like she almost kind of looked like the Statue of Liberty in this thing. She had like this headpiece on that kind of looked like the Statue of Liberty.
Like
she had like
the
this
spikes
dress
and stuff.
and like her boobs were pretty much hanging out. She had, the big baby belly going on.
Oh yeah, I see the
And
picture now. Yep.
There's you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, she looks like a golden statue.
She
of
looks
Liberty.
like a goddess.
She looks like reminds me of Mother Nature from the Santa Claus movie.
Right, but showing a lot more cleavage.
Oh yeah.
So, and then the weird part about it is she had some special effects. So there was like some screens behind her. You know how they'll like turn off the lights, turn on the screen, turn off the lights, turn on the screen?
Yeah.
Didn't they have some drones incorporated too, or was that the halftime show for the Super Bowl?
That was the halftime show for the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry, people. I keep missing the big stuff because of work.
They did have drones though.
Anyway, so she comes out and you see her in like that outfit that you just saw her in, where she's like pretty much fully clothed except her boobs are hanging out and she gets like the weird headpiece. Then it flashes, like the lights flash off and the screen flashes on, and it shows a picture of her like stomach exposed, half naked, and still has the headpiece on, and then flashes back and flashes forward and flashes back. My girlfriend's like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "That has to be a screen behind her." And she didn't sing until like 10 or like 5 minutes into this thing. She sang about like 3 lines, did some more really weird like dancing. There was at one point when she sat in a chair and it was rigged to lay completely backwards.
Really?
Oh,
off
She's
like
so
a ledge.
pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Off like a ledge, and I'm like, okay, well, one, why would you want to do that while you're pregnant?
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
that's just a
dangerous.
bad idea. Like, what happens if that thing were to malfunction? How bad would you feel?
With that one picture, her belly really sticks out.
It does, though.
Yeah.
And like her pregnancy pictures. I'm sorry.
How to Lose a Baby 101.
I really don't want to, I'm very happy for Beyonce. She's having, I think they said either twins or triplets. I'm very happy for her.
I'm just glad it's not me, man. If it's
I want her to
triplets.
cover up. I'm going to be honest.
Well, here it is.
I guess that explains why her stomach's so huge too. If you said like 2 to 3 kids.
You know
Yeah.
what? This is classic America, though. We got all these celebrities who
But
just
you know what,
showcase themselves in such a horrible way, and here it is. These people are role models or they're considered role models for some of us, and
Well,
I'm just
and then-
like,
Here's the thing that bothered me, okay? Now, if a normal person were to dress like that, they would get shunned and made fun of, and it would make headlines.
oh, for sure.
Beyonce did it. Oh, she's
Everything's
queen.
okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, you can only if you're at a beach, you know.
I feel like I'm over the whole Beyonce thing. Like she's come and gone, but she's still here. It's kind of like the whole Kim Kardashian thing.
I
Kim
kind of feel that way
Kardashian.
about most celebrities in general.
Kim Kardashian should have been gone. Well,
I
she
think
shouldn't
we're
have even
ready.
started.
I think our country's ready for the next batch of celebrities, and hopefully they're not as ridiculous as this last one.
Oh,
Okay,
they will be.
Now here's, so no, I'll get to that later. I was gonna bring up something, but okay. So let's see. We talked about her mom's crooked mouth, her weird dance performance,
I have to
So-
look up a picture of
and then she
Beyonce's
didn't even
mom. I gotta
perform
see
like a
this for
song
myself.
that we know. Or I mean, it might have been off of her new album. Second thing another thing that bothers me. What is a visual album? Isn't that just a music video?
What's a
Yeah,
visual
visual
album?
Yeah, is that like a
newest-
pop-up album?
Her
You turn the
newest
pages?
her newest album is called a visual album. So instead of just listening to the music, you got to watch it to understand it. I'm sorry, if I want to watch something to understand, I'm gonna go to the movies and watch a movie.
Hey, I know, right?
I'm
I'll
not
watch Fantasia.
Or I'll watch a music video for
Yeah.
one song. I don't want a whole album devoted, where I've got to like watch this stuff, and that's just too much. If I want to listen to a song, I want to listen to a song. If I want to watch a movie, I want to watch a movie.
Right.
And
Well, I think really that's just her way of trying to like get more money, you know?
oh yeah, she's trying to get bigger is what it is. And the overall performance of her was weird. And we were having someone call in. She's not answering back right now. But Tatiana, I texted her. She's a good friend of Mark's and mine. And I was texting her about it yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, well, you gotta listen to the album to understand. And I'm like, yeah, still not that interested. I mean, if I have to listen to the album to understand a performance that has nothing to do with her album.
Yeah, you don't really have to do homework, you know, or you shouldn't have to do homework before you go
Right.
to a live
And then my question is,
show.
how far along is she? Because to put together a performance like this, because it was all about being like a mother. At the beginning, she had like this weird speech.
Oh, really?
about
It's one of
being a
those
mother.
performances.
It was like, but she didn't sing. She sang for like 3 lines, for like a couple minutes, and then a whole bunch of more weirdness, and 3 more lines for a couple minutes, and the whole chair thing, and then she ended, and then she was like in that costume for most of the night.
I think that's also because like she's not really much of a singer on stage, though she always just danced.
I mean, she's got some good songs, and she's very good at dancing.
Yeah.
But I feel
now
like
that she can't dance up there,
it's just weird. I mean, come as a presenter, just show your presence. You don't have to perform, or if you want to perform, stand there. It's not a crime.
You don't
Not
have
at
to.
all.
You don't have to dance.
People understand you're pregnant.
Yeah, you can just sing
Your feet hurt.
song.
It's fine. I mean, you can sit down and sing. I don't care.
Right.
I mean, they wanted her to perform a song. That's what you do at the Grammys. You perform a song.
It always has to be like extravagant.
You don't perform like 5 lines of a song and have this like huge. And later there was another performance where there's like just random like a couple of petals falling down. I'm like, that's probably left from Beyonce.
Yeah. Like, can you ever imagine like a classical like Beatles rock band just playing a song at the Grammys anymore?
No.
With no props or
Metallica
anything
was there
in the background. Were they? That's
Metallica
pretty
was
dope.
there.
I was having
They
a
had fire though, which would be kind of.
I mean, that's good enough. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Like as long as they're not like doing ballet up there.
I remember I was having a conversation with my coworkers last week. Because, Aaron, I was telling you about how I've been playing music at work.
Right.
And a lot of my stuff is like either like classic rock or punk rock and all that stuff. And I was playing some Green Day. And one of my coworkers one day said, that he was impressed with the fact that I actually listened to Green Day. I'm like, a lot of people my age listen to Green Day. He's like, yeah, but one of the reasons I actually like Green Day is because they're an actual effing band. Is we have all these artists these days.
See,
that
I have
like
people that would disagree. Well, they won't disagree that they're a band. They'll disagree that they're a rock band. They'll say that they're like a
punk rock.
wannabe.
Yeah, I think that's more of the debatable term. Like if it's a rock group.
Right.
Because I can acknowledge any electronic artist as a musician.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, still though, but it's like you got all these celebrities these days that sing or whatever. And first of all, they hardly even sing. Half their voice is auto-tuned these days.
Yeah, it really
Right.
is. Especially with
And-
like hip hop and stuff.
And on top of that, half these artists don't even write their own lyrics. They got some producer
Huh.
for that.
We mentioned Beyonce. She has like 6 songwriters and stuff to songs sometimes.
They have all these songwriters that write their music for them, and then they sing it to the best of their ability, and it's all edited with auto-tune. And some of this stuff is even done in real time. Like there's programs for this.
Right.
I mean, it's like just remind me again. Why are you famous?
Well, you mainly it's good looks,
A
for
lot of
most
the
these
time. I mean,
people.
Kim Kardashian, why are you famous? Well, this is why she's famous. She knows how to use the media.
And her parents were rich too.
Well, no. If you watched, apparently, from what I've told, if you watched the original Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
Yeah.
they weren't that rich to start off with.
Oh,
Kim Kardashian has used the media to build an empire,
just playing them like a fiddle.
pretty much.
I
Or-
mean, yeah, it's scary how like. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure. Like you hear people diss some celebrities like that, just calling them stupid. Like, no, I don't think they're stupid. They definitely know what
They're very
doing
smart.
in
They
this
just play
area.
dumb.
Yeah, they
You know what,
know
though?
how to get that money.
Right.
You know what though? I can honestly say I'm pretty happy to say this. I haven't heard any kind of news or production or anything new from like Justin Bieber or Miley Cyrus in like a while now.
That's not true.
What? I
Like
haven't heard
Love
Madonna
it.
came
Yourself.
out recently, too.
Love Yourself is a Justin Bieber song.
Love Yourself?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard
You
that song.
know you can go and love yourself. You haven't heard that song? It's been all over.
That's
I
Justin
had
Bieber?
no idea
That's
that
Justin
was
Bieber.
though too.
No
That's
wonder
Bieber.
no wonder I hate that song.
I actually like that song. It's not a bad song. He's kind of, I don't know. I feel like he's grown up a little bit, become a little bit more respectable.
How old is he now?
I don't know.
Like
He's
12.
not older than us.
I think he's 12 now.
No, he's in his 20s.
Huh.
I'm 24. He's got to be like at least 21.
I think he's about 22, 23-ish.
Okay.
Yeah,
he probably looks older than me now. You see pictures of that guy.
I'm
he's
sad
like
to say I'm in the
jacked.
same generation as him.
yeah, he is now. I mean, you watch him when he was younger, and he wasn't really. He was a scrawny little kid.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how he got like that so quick.
I don't know, but either way, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him or Miley Cyrus in a while now.
Miley
I've been
Cyrus is
hearing from
around too.
Miley. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything. The last time I saw Miley Cyrus contribute to anything was in that movie The Night Before, which was with Seth Rogen and that guy from Don John and this other actor. and it was about this big party in New York, like the night before Christmas, and it was like this huge party, and Miley Cyrus was in it, and actually she wasn't. I still don't like her, but she was not totally horrible in it.
Was she not totally horrible?
She was not totally horrible.
There's some other like old celebrities catching the limelight again now too. Like I mentioned Madonna, she's like becoming famous again now after she went to that women's march.
Yeah.
There's a lot of female celebrities that contribute to that too. Like Emma Watson is actually like a huge like female activist
I guess
now.
she's like the president of feminism.
What? Emma Watson?
Emma Watson. She's like a leader of something.
She's up there. Well, first of all, she's an inspirational person. So it's
yeah,
only
I'm
natural.
not like ripping on her or anything.
No, definitely not. And you know, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a chance to see it, but I'm sure that the new Beauty and the Beast movie is gonna be phenomenal. I know Aaron's gonna make time to see it.
I'm gonna make time to see it.
I'll watch it, but I don't
it-
think it's gonna be like
it
the
looks-
original '90s one at all.
No, I don't
Actually, it looks like it's gonna be really close.
I've only seen the one teaser, so I really don't know.
I've seen like a lot of teasers, and it looks really cool.
Okay,
It looks really good.
think so. Aaron likes his Disney princesses.
I do, you know.
Yeah, I like Disney
Belle
too.
all the way. Okay, so reeling it back in, back to the Grammys. So Beyonce was weird and just crazy. Now something awesome happened, and I feel like this. Do you remember the moment when Ellen DeGeneres took that selfie and it went viral?
Oh yeah.
This is another one of those moments.
Perfect.
So what it is you know James Corden, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was the host of the Grammys this year,
Okay.
and you know he's mostly known for the carpool karaoke.
Uh-huh.
So he made a joke. I think it was somewhere after Beyonce's performance. He made a joke. He had like this cardboard cutout of a car, and they had him zoomed in really close to his face. I'm like, that's a weird camera angle, and because that's what I think about these days. And he's like, yeah, so CBS doesn't think I'm famous because I come on in the middle of the night. So they decided to add something to make me more noticed or make me more recognizable.
Uh-huh.
Because they were afraid I wasn't like people didn't know who I was.
Right, because he basically gets the graveyard shift of television, doesn't
Right,
he?
and then they zoom out,
like
and
a
he's got a
late-night
giant
show.
cardboard cutout of a car because he does the carpool karaoke a lot. So he's got this giant cardboard cutout of a car, and he goes and sits next to Jennifer Lopez. Okay,
Uh-huh.
this all ends with, let's see, there's you've got Neil Diamond, you've got it's Neil Diamond who sings Sweet Caroline, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So you got Neil Diamond, you've got Jennifer Lopez, you've got Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, and a whole bunch of others. And I think even The Weeknd was sitting right there too. So they're all crowding around this little car, and they sing Sweet Caroline.
That's cool.
So let's see. I think I found the clip. So let me see if I can get this to play.
Well, it's always a fun song to sing to. I think that guy's British, by the way, James Corden.
Yeah. John Legend was here too.
Nice.
And Keith Urban.
Not a bad song either.
Not at all good. Or not at all. It's an awesome song.
I think I remember that.
And he got like literally the entire place is singing this song.
Yeah, I can tell from the sound. That's awesome.
And I think even at one point, Beyonce's kids come over. But it's just like, it was one of those moments, like I said, it was kind of like the Ellen DeGeneres moment.
With the
of-
selfie.
Yeah, with the selfie.
I remember back when that happened, there was like one celebrity that was in the picture that was barely in the picture, like almost cut out, and it was like a thing.
Right.
And it was funny.
Yeah, no, it was, so, but that was another cool thing that I freaked. I'm like, no, they're going to sing because they're like, oh, we're going to, because they played it off, they're like, oh, we've got this person, and he's like, come on, everybody, like, come here.
Yeah.
So we call a whole bunch of celebrities over, And he's like, and we've actually got the Neil Diamond here, and Neil Diamond's like sitting right behind him. So he comes up, and they're like, well, why don't we hit him with a tune or something like that? And I'm like, oh, if they do Sweet Caroline, I'm gonna go insane.
And they do.
And they did, and I went ballistic. I'm like, yeah, and I'm sitting there singing it, and it was a great time. You guys missed it.
It sounds like you were
I've
there.
totally had that feeling before.
It almost like I was there. But no, so that was a cool moment that happened. And then Bruno Mars performed twice. He performed one of his songs shortly after James Corden, or did the whole Sweet Caroline thing. And one problem I had is he acted like he was in a boy band.
Who did?
It was
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars. He acted like he was in a.
He acted like he was in a boy band. He was wearing
Like
like
One
a
Direction.
He was wearing like a jogging suit. No, like a '90s boy band.
Oh, okay.
He was wearing like a jogging suit, and he was dancing around with a microphone. But the thing that was key was all of his backup dancers were doing the same thing he was doing and dancing with the microphone. So it was like he was in a '90s like boy band, and that's not Bruno
Interesting.
Mars. It's weird.
I don't think I know Bruno
Oh my God!
Mars.
Wait, so it was like what? Like a blue suit with the black and the red and white?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at that's
Isn't that weird?
He looks like an action figure.
Doesn't he
Yeah.
really though? Like,
he kind of does. Oh man, yeah, that's like oh that looks pretty 90s if you ask me.
I told you.
Yeah, it stands out.
You know
like,
what though?
Really
I
hard.
I feel like we're kind of going into this I wouldn't call it an era, but maybe a phase. I don't know. I really don't know how to word it, but it's getting to that point where like the 90s are kind of like the new retro,
Right.
and like everything in the 90s is cool again.
Right.
So it's like coming back and everything's great. I was at me and Jenna went to the Public House, which is this bar just down the street from me, the other night, and they had this DJ there. And, he was playing a whole bunch of, like, 90s music remixed together. Like, Hoop Did Is, and,
Who did it?
Yeah, I remember that.
and a whole bunch of other music, too, back from the 90s. And it was great,
Every bar I go to that's playing music like that is playing songs like "Yeah" by Usher and "Low" and.
It was great though. Like even though we weren't dancing or singing or anything like that, we just weren't. We didn't drink that much. But
Right.
But these people who were down by the dance floor they came here. They went there on like a quadruple date. There was like 4 couples, and you could tell like right when we walked in, you could tell that they have had more than a few, and they're all like dancing, and one of the chicks down there is like twerking, and it was fun. It was funny, but it was fun to watch, and just like seeing all these people just drunk dance around, and I'm just like, well, it looks like they're having a fun time.
Still
Right.
can't believe
But,
it's like a popular dance now.
But yeah, it's like the 90s are coming back, and I'm not upset about it at all. I think it's great.
Me either.
And I think
Yeah.
even boy bands are making their way back. And I was never really into boy bands, but
The
like
Backstreet Boys are back.
yeah,
All right.
This is a good one. I like it.
Pretty much. But it's kind of cool. I if this is gonna be like the trend for the next couple of years, I can live with that. If the 90s are a new thing again, that is fine with me. It is better than the crap that we've had.
Although at
Right.
the same time, when you say that, I don't want like a billion more Jurassic Park movies.
No. Jurassic Park can end now.
Yeah.
And
Let's not bring everything from the 90s.
I remember hearing that they were going to bring Back to the Future, and they were going to replace the DeLorean with a different car, and right then I was just like, they better not.
Yeah, why would you do that?
It's like, if you're going to bring it back, then you better at least use a DeLorean.
That's like if you did Star Wars, like Lord of the Rings again, without a lightsaber or the ring.
Right.
Right.
So
Or the
So-
Millennium Falcon.
So he
Yeah.
was. So it was just weird. Now, one funny moment that happened that I saw was at one point, Bruno Mars was like, "Can I break it down?" And he said that several times. He's like, "Can I break it down? Can I break it
Yeah.
down?" And it just there's just a shot of Jennifer Lopez, and she's like, "Yes, you can break it down." Like she mouthed that, and you can see it, and I'm like, "That was good. That was funny."
They made eye contact. and
Yeah,
all that.
she like just looks right at him and goes, "Yes, you can break it down," but she didn't say it. It just mouthed it, and you just hear a song going on in the background. And I'm like, that was the best catch of all time.
Yeah.
Let's see. So then we move on to Katy Perry's performance. That was a sweet performance. It was really weird.
I heard.
One of her new songs is talking about how we're just kind of as a society we're just kind of sitting by and letting things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's taking that, and she had like this house, and she had blonde hair now, and she was dancing around like this.
I think she looks better with blonde hair.
I know.
Yeah, I agree.
She was dancing around this this fence. It was almost like she started off inside like this house looking thing, and and she was in a window, and then she just kind of walks through the window. There was like a whole panel, so the panel went away, and she walked through, and she walked to the outside of the fence, and she's walking around this thing, and the house is spinning, and all these things are going on, and at one point the whole house breaks into pieces, and there's just people holding up different planks of it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was sweet. And then how she ended her performance was they put down like 3 of them, and it said "We the People."
Okay, that is.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
so
that's
if
neat.
you guys don't get the chance, or if you haven't seen it, I would highly suggest go and see it.
Yeah,
You can skip Beyonce's. It was just weird.
Yeah.
But Katy Perry's performance was really cool.
Out of all these people you named so far, I do think Katy Perry's all right from the few things I've heard from her.
Yeah, I can't say I've never really had any complaints about Katy Perry. She's always kept it real.
And
Right.
she's beautiful.
She is.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. She did.
So-
I was watching TV last night with Jenna. We were watching Splat. The Splat, it's
I love the
Yeah, I
Splat.
remember that.
Yep. It's like they brought Nickelodeon back, and now it's like a late night thing.
Yep.
And Katy Perry, she has this new commercial on there, and it's for like Katy Cat makeup or something like that. And like this commercial probably played 6 times last night. Like around the time that most commercials would get old really fast.
Yep.
But honestly, like here it is, it's a makeup commercial, and I'm perfectly fine with it. Like I'm like, you know what? I ain't even mad. She does it well.
So kind of moving off the Katy Perry topic, back to Beyonce for a second. So Beyonce was nominated in a category, and I don't remember what category it was. I don't remember what she won.
Being pregnant.
But so she
being pregnant and reckless while dressing like a golden.
Yeah, she
I think
won
it was
an
like-
award for
I think it
not
was like-
falling off a chair.
I think it was like Song of the Year or something like that. Because you had like Mike Posner, who's really cool. I've seen him perform live. He's like really got himself into the music.
Mm-hmm.
But you had a couple other people. Like I don't think Adele was in this one yet. But you had a few pretty good actors like Rihanna and but Beyonce won. Okay, so she walks out in the costume she performed in, and she has this golden book thing and just opens it up and starts reading it, and that was her speech. She had a pre-written acceptance speech
and like a golden book.
in a golden in like a golden like 2-panel book.
Conceited.
Just makes me imagine her like going,
One, no one ever has a pre-written speech, and if they do, they surely don't pull it out. Like
I
it was
know,
almost
right?
like she knew she was gonna win, and that's when it gets bad. That's when it's
That's when like you smell something fishy.
well, no, that's when that's when it's like she thinks she's good enough that she's going to win, and
Yeah.
when she gets that feeling, usually that's when stars are almost done.
Yeah, it's when people fall the hardest to
Right.
her crash.
It's just it.
I'm sorry, but I think after she has these kids, she's probably for the most part done.
I was
if it's
gonna-
3 kids.
well, she's got 1 to 2 already, and she's having
Twins?
like I think it's either twins or
She's
triplets.
pretty old now too, right?
I'm sorry, but if you have 4 kids, you can't, especially if they're like really, really young, you can't manage fame on top of that.
She's just gotta. She'll send them to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
It'll be
Also,
okay.
keep in mind, like it's Beyonce. She can like go to the plastic surgeon or something. after.
Right.
She'll come back as Kim Kardashian in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so that really bothered me that she had a pre-written speech because
I-
everybody else just kind of winged it.
Honestly, I didn't really even care for Beyonce in the first place. I
I
mean,
mean, she's got some good songs, but I don't think she's.
it's just not my taste.
I don't think
I mean,
she should be as
I don't-
famous as she is.
I did not have anything against her at first. I mean, really, like honestly, like she's fine.
No, she
all
was
that stuff,
honestly good at first. I mean,
Yeah.
Destiny's Child was awesome. She went solo. She was good solo. I think it's gotten to the point where she is.
It's going to her head.
It's going to her head.
Yeah. Funny
And that's
thing, yeah.
and that's when I stopped respecting celebrities is when the
As soon as it
fame
goes
is
to your head, you're
coming
done.
out.
Yeah.
That's when you hit your downward slope.
So anyway, so moving off that, Alicia Keys and Maren Morris did a performance. Maren Morris is a country singer, and obviously everybody knows who Alicia Keys is, and it was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Who's Alicia Keys? I'm kidding.
She's
Although
really
Alicia Keys had an afro, which was weird.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking.
isn't she like normally like almost bald? Like
No,
I've
no.
seen her with like really short hair before.
I think she's had several different hairstyles.
Honestly, I don't know. With even she was wearing like this black sparkling suit.
Is
Yeah.
that her with like the
Yep.
black?
You know
onesie?
why does this? Look, honestly,
It was like the one piece suit, the pantsuit.
This almost strikes me as something that
I can
like,
kind of dig it actually.
Right.
It's not
She
horrible.
kind of looks like the girl from the Austin Powers.
That's what
I was about to
thinking.
say this
yeah.
kind of looks like it should be from
I
like
like,
Austin Powers.
I like it.
You literally
Um,
took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say that.
Anyway, so no, they did an awesome performance. They were a great matchup. Now they had Kelsey Ballerini was paired with a guy. He sings the song "Once I Was 7 Years
Yeah.
Old." Okay.
Oh yeah, that song.
So she was paired up with that guy, and she's got a song out called Peter Pan, which is really good.
I heard about that.
And they just weren't a good matchup. They weren't at all. It didn't sound good. It didn't, she sounded good. He sounded fine, but not together. They didn't sound good.
Yeah.
That was near the beginning. So moving away from that, then Adele did a tribute to, what was his name? It was
George Michael?
George Michael. That's what it was. She did a tribute to George Michael.
Oh, this is when I heard about she like messed up on stage.
well, yeah, she was off key, is what it was.
Yeah, I could
She
tell
was
when I was
off
listening.
key, and what she did is she heard she was off key. So I think it was a technical glitch because she's got those earpieces in.
Oh, okay.
Autocorrect.
Well, no, she
That's
she
a
can
cowboy
out-sing you
dance.
any day.
I'm not saying she can't.
No, but she stopped because those earpieces allows her to hear herself.
Yeah,
And if it's messing up, she could be on the wrong key.
I see.
So, and then she swore, which if you watch any
That's the
clip,
part I heard
you won't
about,
see
yeah.
it, because they cut it out really quickly.
Oh, sure.
But she stopped the performance. She was like, "Hey, can we start this over again? I'm not gonna mess this up." And she restarted it. She did phenomenal. It was kind of a weird song for her to do, but she nailed it. Okay, after she restarted, she nailed it. She was in the right key. She sounded fantastic.
All right, fair
But
enough. If she
everybody's
can bring
kind
it back, then
well,
okay, I
everybody's kind of
guess.
criticizing her for saying, "Okay, stop. Let's do a do-over." It's like, why? If it was recorded, she would have done that anyway. It would have been like, okay, let's stop and redo it, and you just wouldn't have seen the
Perhaps, but then
the
like
first
shouldn't
take.
like every artist be able to do that then when they're performing on like a award show?
Well, but see, here's the thing. Okay, so she screwed up on a tribute.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can understand that.
so that's why she's like, I don't want to screw this up for him. This has to be perfect. And,
Right. I
you
guess that's understandable then.
and that's where I'm at. Is it was a tribute. It wasn't like it was one of her songs. It was a tribute, and she wanted to get it right.
yeah, and George Michael's a good artist.
Right.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
can respect the fact that she's like, okay, hold up, let me try this again.
Mhm.
She acknowledged that she was doing bad. Now Metallica, the lead singer for Metallica, his mic didn't work for like the first 2 minutes of the show,
Uh,
but
sucks.
he wrote it out like a pro. He just kept
Yeah,
singing.
it's Metallica, man.
You couldn't
got
hear.
the chords.
You couldn't hear what he was saying. And Lady Gaga just kept going on with her parts because they matched them up together.
That's goofy. So like no one just heard this guy.
So nobody heard him, but they heard her parts. And then he jumped onto her microphone for a second. And then when
yeah,
he
it's
went,
like oh crap.
then when he went back, his microphone was working again. But if you watch closely, after his performance as the camera's coming back, he threw his guitar.
That's great.
He threw his guitar at a roadie because he was
Yeah, just like
Just-
angry. at the
just so
guy,
mad
Like, you
that-
messed up, dude.
damn.
So there was that. There was also
Makes me glad I'm not like an intern or anything.
I'm an
I'm
intern.
sorry, sir.
I'm an intern.
So
No,
am
but
I.
there was a tribute to the Bee Gees. That
That's
was really
nice.
cool. I'm gonna play a clip of that for a second. But they had like
A
little
lot
big.
of tributes this year.
There were a lot of tributes this year.
Again,
Tenacious
Pass
D
going
should
back.
have been there.
They-
yeah.
this is just a tribute.
So they
Great.
had Little Big Town did a portion of it. Demi Lovato did a portion. And then there's someone else I can't remember who did the other portion. Let's see if we can get this to work like it was supposed to. I just had it playing.
We can try to understand. Do your part to make no plan. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, staying alive, staying alive. Till the steady breaking and everybody shaking, staying alive, staying alive. High, 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 staying alive, staying alive. High, 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 staying alive.
heard this song in years.
So
I
that
love
was Demi Lovato doing the first portion of it, and she
Really?
sounded. Oh yeah,
I did
She
not
did good.
expect that.
that was Demi Lovato was good. She kind of went a little bit wild and kind of shed her Disney Channel image.
Yeah, I only remember her from Wizards of Waverly Place.
No, that was that's someone else.
Oh, that's Selena Gomez.
That's Selena
right?
Gomez. No, this
Demi
one.
Lovato is the
Demi
other
Lovato
show.
played in like the it wasn't School of Rock. It was like
No, it
Camp
was,
Rock or something like that.
Yeah, it's Camp Rock.
yeah. So
That's
she
it.
played in that. She kind of shed that
Yeah,
skin.
she was the best singer out of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So she kind of shed that skin, and she's played in Glee. She's gone
Yeah.
out on her own. She's had a lot of really good hits.
I watched Glee back then too.
I tried to watch it till the end.
Well, the first season I watched. I didn't really watch everything.
I
after.
caught on later, and then I went back and kind of recouped, and I missed the last. And I at that point I was like, well, I'm almost done with the
Yeah.
series. I might as well just finish it out.
I remember they did like a
But
weird
after
break.
after the guy that played Finn died, it was pretty much went downhill.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was never into Glee.
Anyway, no, but Demi Lovato played on it for a while. She was pretty good. She was a reoccurring role for about a week, which was really nice. So, or for like one season, she was on there, and then they like did a whole jump ahead and screwed everything up. And then, anyway, but no, she did an awesome job. Little Big Town, but they were doing like a mashup of all the different songs, and they
Yeah.
ended off with Staying Alive. And it was like everyone, and it sounded fantastic. I can't find a clip of everyone there, but because they sang all the different songs, when
Yeah.
all the parts came together, it just like it sounded awesome. Now I don't know if you know this, almost all of the members of the Bee Gees are passed away. They were all brothers, and there's only one left, and
Huh.
he was actually there during that tribute.
Well, that's nice.
So, yeah, all of his brothers. He's haunted. I've heard he's haunted by his brother's memory because they all died very tragically.
I was about to ask like what that must be like.
Yeah,
for
that's
them.
gotta be hard.
Right. Yeah. No, it was. It wasn't like anything that was. It was just tragic sudden deaths.
There's a lot of like crazy stories like that with artists.
Yeah.
Like Buddy Holly, like all
Or-
these guys like died in a plane crash, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
Only
the Big
the
Bopper,
drummers
Buddy
survived.
Holly, all them, and then
Yeah.
you also had like big celebrities like James Dean or who's the other one? Was it Biggie Smalls?
Yeah, I think.
I think Biggie Smalls. Yeah, he died because he got shot up or something.
Same
Didn't
with
like.
Tupac.
I was gonna say Tupac got shot too.
Oh, Tupac.
James
yeah.
Dean just died in a car crash. Same with a lot of other celebrities.
Yeah, like Paul Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Especially since like the kind of movies that guy was in. you
Yeah.
know?
Fast and the Furious.
Well,
Yeah.
he actually ran a racing team outside of the franchise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
like,
the
it's
guy-
crazy that's how he goes.
And the guy he ran the team with was the guy who was in the car with him when he died. But he had that saying too. It's like if I ever die because of speed or driving or racing, don't cry for me because I died smiling.
Right.
You know, it's nuts. Something like that almost happened to Harrison Ford. They're like filming The Force Awakens. He's
Did
like
it really?
flying his plane and he had to crash land it.
Oh yeah, I
but
remember
he
hearing about
managed to like make it out of there.
Right.
that. Indiana Jones.
But he
style.
could like easily been another Paul Walker.
Yeah. No, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He ended up taking his plane down. Well, I can't find a copy of.
Did he land it or was he just on it?
He had
and
to
managed
crash
land?
land it.
Like so he was actually controlling the plane.
Yeah, he's a pilot.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was actually a pilot.
Yeah, there's another crazy story before like a forest fire happened where he lived, Harrison Ford. He like took his helicopter out to help rescue people
Yep.
like while this fire was going on.
That's awesome.
Can you imagine being rescued by Harrison Ford?
Right.
That'd be absolutely amazing. I'd be like, "Where's the Falcon?"
I know, right? Where's Chewie?
There was this one skit I saw.
I'd be like, "Where's your whip?" I mean, come on, Indiana Jones fans
Yeah.
over here.
or yeah, I'd be like, "Where's your hat?"
This belongs in the museum.
Yeah, but either way though, I remember seeing this funny skit. He was on live with the show or whatever once, and this guy was saying how he had a Lego version of Millennium Falcon that was worth so much money, and he put so many hours into it. And he claimed it was original. It was obviously one of the new ones because they re-released the Lego Millennium Falcon.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. And so basically, I'm sure they did a new one or something. But anyways, you're saying how it was so expensive and that he put so many hours into it, and he asked if Harrison Ford could sign it. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, sure, I guess bring it on over and I'll sign it. And the thing wasn't even in his hands for a second before he, like, you could tell, like, he was kind of pretending to do it, but, like, he was just, he was pretending like he was falling back. And, like, he broke it into 2 or 3 pieces in the process and then just threw it on the floor behind the chair. Like, it just shattered all behind them.
Oh.
Who did that?
Harrison Ford did that.
Really?
I'll have to look it up in a video, but
Why did he do that?
It was part of a skit. It was funny.
Oh, okay.
They played it off like it was
Yeah, I
was
thought
not
he did that
scripted,
on
but it was
purpose.
scripted.
Well, it's kind of like James Corden during the Grammys. He did this skit where he like introduced his parents, and he went down where they were supposed to be, and his dad's sitting there with Heidi Klum on his lap, and then he's like, "Where's Mom at?"
It was on Conan, by the way.
And he's
Okay.
like, "Mom," and
Yeah, he's done stuff like that on Conan.
he's like, he's like, "Oh, your mother and I have an agreement. We have I've got a free pass, and Heidi is my free pass." Like, where's Mom at? And he's like, she's over there, and she was sitting next to Nick Jonas,
Nick Jonas.
and he put his like coat around, and he's like, no, we're gonna go to commercial break while I sort this out or something like that. But it was a cool skit with his parents, which was funny.
No, it was funny.
Let's see if I can get this. This is the Bruno Mars did a tribute to Prince.
Yeah, you know what? I was seeing this on the list, and I was like, that looks like Bruno Mars.
So here, let's see.
He pulls off the part well.
This is Bruno Mars.
He's playing it well.
He looks like Prince too.
Yeah, he's even got the look.
Mm-hmm.
These pictures line up
Except
perfectly.
Prince is like a lot skinnier. Yeah, like if you look at that comparison picture.
But how sweet was that guitar riff?
It
Like
was
that
like
was
just at
pretty
the
sick.
end of the song, he just did that, and at one point he kept it going. He was just going like this, and kept it going on the guitar. Didn't even strum anything. Just like ran his hand up and down. Went for like 2 minutes, and then he continued to play and did another riff.
Something Prince would do too.
That's pretty sweet.
But he did
So
that.
was he actually playing then?
Yeah. Oh no, that was actually him playing the guitar.
Wow, that's actually.
That's why everyone was going nuts in the crowd.
And you know what, too? I was looking at these pictures on, like, I googled it, like, as you were playing it. I'm
Right.
just, like, scrolling through these pictures, and I'm like, man, these pictures, like, match up with it. Like, it's like I'm literally imagining him, like, walk across the stage just shredding it.
Oh yeah, no, he was standing in one spot and he was literally shredding it. And like I said, there was one point when he was just literally running his hand up and down the neck of the guitar, not playing anything, just from the residual, and he was making this really cool noise for like 2 minutes, and then he started playing again, and then he finally ended it. It was sweet.
I just pulled up a video for it. I'm gonna have to watch this after the show.
I was like, I did not expect that out of Bruno Mars.
I'm gonna have to watch this after
Reminds
the show.
me of that Super Bowl show Prince once did back then. He was
Right.
like ripping that guitar too.
And that's what he did. He just literally, like, at the end of the song, he just started ripping into that guitar
Yeah.
and just did some sweet riffs, and it sounded phenomenal. It
Was-
sounded sweet.
Yeah, I
Was it
miss
sweet?
Prince.
It was sweet.
Was it phenomenal?
It was. And it was cool.
Was it cool?
It was cool.
Was it
So-
mind blowing?
It was mind-boggling.
It was mind boggling. Not mind blowing though.
Not well. It was mind-blowing and mind-boggling, and any other word that you can think of.
Did it make a dove cry?
It did. About 20 doves cry, and a unicorn.
Oh.
Ooh, once the unicorn comes out.
Anyway, no. So he did a really good job with all the tributes were really good. I don't think that there was like I said, Adele had that little slip up. Now, on the topic of Adele, she won the most awards. She won like the 3 biggest awards of the night.
Really?
Yeah, and literally 2 of them were back to back. She got like top artist of the year and top album of the year.
Really?
And like earlier when she had won the song had won something, and she'd brought the guy who helped her produce the song, and she said all of her thank yous, and right when she said like they knew she was ending, they cut the other dude off and started playing music. And you could hear the
Really?
crowd boo.
Okay.
They booed everybody else because he didn't get to say anything. So when she won again, she's like, "You cut him off the last time. Let him speak first." And then she spoke the second time. They went behind stage. They announced the second one, and it was her again. And she went back out, and she was in tears at this point.
Huh.
because I guess the last time when she had won that award, and she had been at that award show, she had won it, and immediately after she'd found out she was pregnant.
Oh wow.
And that's why she kind of dropped off the face of the earth for. She
Right.
said it was like 10 years. I don't believe that though.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like what she did, like her music.
She did Rolling in the Deep,
Okay.
and she did Skyfall for the James Bond movie.
She did?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she sang Skyfall. That was Adele.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's not bad. Though.
I did not know that.
No, she's really good, really talented. She also did the song Hello. That's her newest song.
Hello.
Maybe
Yeah.
I know
me.
that song.
It's a good song. I don't
Um,
listen to it much, but it's an alright song.
So, she won like 3 of the major awards, and at the end there was something I thought she was gonna do, and I was gonna be so mad, because she came out in tears and she's talking because she ran up against Beyonce. Her album ran up against Beyonce's Lemonade,
Yeah.
which is that visual album that I was
Ah.
telling you about, and she was it was almost like she was kind of like, I can't accept this, like Beyonce deserves it more. I thought she can give her award to Beyonce. I was gonna be like, don't you dare. I would lose so much respect for you, right? And like, but she was so humble about every time she won, and that's somebody that I like to, that's somebody that I like in the spotlight.
It's like, look, I understand if you want to be humble. I really,
She-
really dig that, but don't actually give it to her because her performance was weird, and
it was
it was weird.
it was weird.
It was weird.
Anyway,
But yeah, you know what though? That riff on the Prince tribute was totally sick. After this show, I have to go back and I'm looking it up on Google, and I have to watch that. And I also got to show you guys that Harrison Ford breaking the Lego Millennium Falcon because it was funny.
you know what else you got to show?
What's that?
How the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to meet the Avengers in Infinity
I am
War.
so excited for this. Okay.
You're welcome.
So it's finally official. The Guardians of the Galaxy will battle alongside Iron Man, Captain America, and the rest of Earth's mightiest heroes in Avengers Infinity War. And even Spider-Man will be there. I mean, I think everybody knew that anyways, but it's official now. The news came via a behind-the-scenes video featuring Robert Downey Jr., the new web-slinger Tom Holland, and Star-Lord's Chris Pratt on their first day at Pinewood Studios in Atlanta, standing on a set that looks like a blasted wasteland surrounded by a massive green screen.
Is it going to have
I'm Groot.
Yes, except it's going to be a much more adorable.
it's
I am
Baby
Groot.
Groot?
It's going to be more like, I am Groot!
No, it's I am
I don't
Groot.
think it talks at all in this
It
movie.
does.
It does.
It does. Have you not seen the new promo for it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we got
Oh.
some edumacation for you.
So, Rocket is sitting there and he's telling Baby Groot, he's like, whatever you do, do not press this button. It
And it's
will
a
blow
bomb.
off the explosive
Yeah.
immediately.
It's a death bomb.
And he looks at Baby Groot, and Baby Groot goes, I am Groot, and puts his finger over the button. He's like, no!
Oh.
And he goes over this like 3 times. And then the second time, Baby Groot's like, I am Groot. I am Groot. I am
Groot. And then he puts it on
I
the phone.
am Groot. And he's like, no. He's like, does anybody have any tape? Star-Lord's like, you have a bomb in your bag. If anybody were to have tape, it'd be you.
Right.
We'll have to
And
show
he's-
you.
and-
We'll have to show you this after
And
the
then
show.
he
as well.
turns around, and then Baby Groot grabs the controller and runs away. And he's like, that can't be good.
I am Groot.
It was
It's amazing,
really
though.
funny.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Mhm. But anyways, before this, this first day of shooting, though, the two also popped up in a Facebook Live event in which Downey took fans' questions from the set. During the nearly 6-minute live stream below, or in the link that we have, fans got a glimpse of Holland, whose face was covered in black dots used for CGI recognition, as he posed for Downey's own personal cameraman, and Pratt, who dropped by to let Downey know they were ready to shoot. This will actually be 2 movies shot back to back, essentially Avengers 3 and 4, and Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige says that it's the culmination of the story they started telling back in the 2008's original Iron Man. I actually just watched Iron Man the other night.
Did you?
I did.
Which one?
The first one.
That's a good one.
Oh, it is a good one. Anyways,
Yeah, I think I only like that one really.
but Iron Man 3 actually did surprisingly well. I didn't expect it to do that well.
They're
'Cause-
kind of getting old at this point.
I don't know.
Especially Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, but
He's
still,
getting really old.
he's always going to be
Yeah.
Iron
He
Man.
needs to do
me.
another Sherlock Holmes movie.
It's funny
There's
because
2.
like
There needs to be a 3rd.
I remember in Civil War they like show like a young CG version of Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
Almost felt like that was Disney and Marvel just testing the waters to see if they could do a young Robert when he leaves finally. It's like, oh no, we need Iron Man still. Well, we got CG.
Exactly.
Robert Downey Jr.
Did you saw Rogue One, right?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
do the same thing.
They did an excellent job with Princess Leia. I just have to say that.
I thought it looked horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it looked great.
You know she was
Anyways.
actually in that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho.
Wait, were you talking about Rogue One or New Hope?
Rogue One.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was in Rogue One?
She was in the very end of it.
I thought that was a fake Leia though.
I'm not sure if it was CGI or what, but I think it looked pretty well. Anywho,
Anywho.
when it comes to these
Ooh.
first two films, the first up is Infinity War, set for release on May 4th, 2018, and then as the as yet untitled follow-up on May 3rd, 2019. Both movies are being directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, who made the Captain America films, The Winter Soldier, and Civil War. Things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are a mess after last year's clash of heroes in Civil War. Iron Man and Captain America are still holding grudges. Tony is not talking to Steve. The Avengers are basically a name with nobody in it. Stepping up to the plate to take a swing at the world, Galactic Death God Thanos, who's going to be played by Josh Brolin, who has been trying to amass Infinity Stones, the gems that power the Vision and allow Doctor Strange to bend time, among others, for a gauntlet that will give him dominion over space, time, and all reality. We all know they're going to face Thanos. Marvel has been setting that up since Avengers 1. But even without his team and after the events of Civil War, Tony Stark is trying to hold the fort. The video, for the video presenting all this shows concept art of him standing before the line of Iron Man-like Sentinel drones, similar to the ones he deployed in Age of Ultron, which didn't go well.
Right.
Altogether, though, even on day one, the production is shaping Infinity War to be one hell of a movie. I cannot wait. As a matter of fact, you said you haven't seen this trailer yet, right? I'll have to show you that as well. We got a couple trailers to look at after the. Well, we've seen most of them,
I'm
but
very
still.
behind on Infinity War.
Well, we'll show you some of this new stuff.
Don't worry, I'm behind on everything. I haven't seen Doctor Strange, Batman v Superman.
I did
haven't
see
seen
Doctor
anything.
Strange. I watched Lego Batman.
I want to see that.
I did really like that.
I really want to go and see A Dog's Purpose, though, just because people were dumb and made a giant fuss out of nothing.
They
For which
really
movie?
did, though.
A Dog's Purpose.
Oh, Someone I know of actually just gave it like 3.5 stars.
Really?
Yeah. That's like the only good review I've heard of so far about it.
See, I want to see it just because it's a dog movie. My girlfriend really likes dogs, so that's the
I
only
know,
I think
same
it's
sort of-
really
same sort of
just
me
the
in general.
behind the scenes stuff that makes people not want to watch it.
That's exactly what it is, and Mark knows how mad it made me because it was horrible editing of a video.
Mhm.
They
It
weren't
was.
drowning a dog; they were introducing him into a different side of the
Is
pool.
that what was going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, have you actually watched the video?
I've only seen like the quick clips and stuff.
It
That's
turned-
all there is.
it
It's
turned out-
literally one clip, black space, and second clip.
It turned out to be slander.
It
Was
was.
it? Okay.
It was TMZ edited it to make it look like something that
It
it
would
wasn't.
be TMZ.
Yes.
That's
'Cause
why.
they were the one
That's
that
why we were
released
cracking
it.
jokes about them earlier.
And then everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're abusing animals!" And PETA got involved, and PETA just needs to go away.
Oh yeah, PETA is. I mean, animals definitely do need protection when you're making a movie,
Yes,
but they get very extreme.
but it's funny
sometimes.
because
it's like even butthurt.
I
about
guess even after that, so like the video where it shows him trying to like put the dog's butt in the water and then like just his back legs and his whole butt.
Yeah.
After that, I guess they took a break, and he was done for the day. They just stopped that stunt for the day. They were done with it.
it. Just like, all right, this is
And
enough.
then the clip that they actually showed in the movie was all CGI.
Really?
hmm
Huh. So they just like do it over that video?
Well, he had originally done it several times on a different side of the pool,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, let's see if we can get it from this angle. It would look cooler. And it was the moving of sides because the dog had done it from the other side of the pool, no problem.
Yeah.
It was this side. There's just something about it that he didn't like, and so he didn't want to go in. So they were trying to introduce like his feet and then his butt, and he just didn't want to go in. But then that's when the clip stops. Then it jumps to it showing something in the water, but you can't tell what it is. And then you hear cut, and then everybody rushes towards it. And they assume it's the dog. And then it shows the picture it shows the video clip from the movie of the dog jumping in the water and saving a little boy. And it's like, okay, well, one, that could be. My whole point was, we could have a video of an old lady being, getting robbed, and a cop coming up and helping her.
Yeah.
And I could take that into footage and publish it that looks like an old lady got robbed, and then it shows her just laying there, and then he cut off the video.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
So it was just creative. Well, not even really creative. It wasn't even that good. It was just editing. Somebody edited 2 clips together.
Yeah,
and
it was
flipped on.
poorly done editing, lies and slander, and the movie probably lost quite a bit of its ratings and money because of it. But either way, I still have full intent to see it.
They're playing at Imagine right by our house.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go and see it probably tomorrow-ish.
I'm not sure when I'm going to see it, but I am going to see it.
Because tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Well, watch Lego Batman too.
Oh, yes,
I
that's
really
right.
want to see Lego Batman.
Jake saw Lego Batman last week, right?
How good was it?
Oh no, well yeah, it came out on Friday?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it Friday night then. Yeah, I loved it.
Was it really good?
I liked it more than the Lego movie.
The Lego movie was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. It was a really nice breath of fresh air.
Was
Because,
it?
like, Batman is just very dark and angsty now.
Yeah.
This movie's like the exact opposite of that.
It's like a
It's like
total...
actually cracking fun at him
Well,
for
and then
once.
everybody bashes the whole George Clooney Batman.
Yeah, like, no...
But
yeah,
I don't see a problem
like,
with it. It
yeah,
kind of
me
lightened
too.
the mood. It was a different form of Batman.
It's just how they shot the movie that
Right.
wasn't good. The idea itself isn't bad.
Well, and it was what it was is it was the director trying to put, it was Tim Burton who did it, and he was just trying to put his kind
It
of...
was Tim Burton who did the movie?
The George Clooney Batman?
I did not know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's surprising. I did
Yeah, I
not...
thought it was some other guy that did it.
No, that one, at least as far as I'm aware...
I could be thinking of Batman and Robin, probably. Or whichever one has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it is Mr.
But that was all
Freeze.
part of the same franchise.
It was.
It was, but I think they had a different director by the final movie. I think Tim Burton only directed the first two.
Which one had Bane and Poison Ivy?
That's Batman and Robin, I think.
Now, which one had Freeze?
Or,
That was the one that had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
yeah, there's Batman and Robin and Batman
No, I know
and
which one-
Forever.
I know
always
Freeze
get them
was
mixed
Arnold.
up.
I don't know. I always get those two mixed up. I don't
Same.
know. I think it's interesting to look at the evolution of the Batmobile over the years.
Yeah,
which-
because at one point it was like a
So
literal
Batman and
tank.
Robin was the one that had Freeze in it.
Okay. So
And it was
Batman
directed
and
by
Forever is the
Joel
Riddler.
Schumacher.
Okay, that's his name.
Now, I always thought it was interesting to look at the evolution of the Batmobile over the years. Which Batmobile would you say is your favorite, Jake?
Probably like,
I think if
I really actually like the Adam West one, like the '60s.
that one was pretty awesome. And Aaron, how about you?
Because like my favorite kind of Batman was never like the action-packed punching bad guys one.
I like the animated
I like that one
Batmobile.
too. That's a good one.
The anime was a good one. I think if I were gonna pick my favorite one, it would probably be the one from the Dark Knight series, the
Yeah.
Tumbler. That one was really sweet. The one as much as I did not like Batman vs Superman, I think the new Batmobile is pretty sweet as well. Because it's more tanky. I mean, so is the Tumbler from the Dark Knight series, but
Joel Schumacher did Batman Forever too.
I thought so.
That's the one that had
That's the Riddler and
the Riddler and
Two-Face.
Poison Ivy.
But
Okay.
either way,
No,
though.
Catwoman.
Ah,
But either way, though, I like how it's like, like over the past couple of years, like the Batmobile's taken like more on like a tank aspect, which I feel is more realistic. But I mean,
I like the animated series. I
I think
feel
the
like
animated
Adam
series
West one is realistic too. Like that one, they actually drove that one in real life.
did you know that the original Batmobile only topped out at 30 miles an hour?
That's funny. I never knew that.
Yep, and apparently it didn't have seatbelts.
So my favorite Batman was the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton
Yeah,
and Jack Nicholson.
that's a good one. That's Tim
Jack
Burton's
Nicholson is
Batman.
my favorite Batman.
Joker, you mean?
Or Joker, that's what I meant.
Yeah, he's really good. I think Mark Hamill is my favorite Joker if you're gonna count voice actors.
And you're right, Tim
Oh.
Burton did do that Batman with...
And if you're gonna count voice actors, I will say Kevin Conroy is my favorite Batman too.
Really?
You know what, Aaron?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the animated Batmobile right now, and
It's really cool.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that is pretty sick.
I had a toy of it when I was a kid, and it was kind of cool because there was this button that you pull back, and this like
I remember
Gatling
that.
gun flipped around,
No, Mark's
and it
never
actually
watched
shot
it.
like a little.
I had to play him an episode once actually from that show, the animated series.
But I mean, you can't even lie that the one from Dawn of Justice is pretty snazzy too. Look
So
at that.
you've got Batman, and then you got Batman Returns, and Batman Returns is the one where it had the Penguin played by Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah, that was
one,
great.
That one was.
I
I
think
don't
that
know
one
if
was
it
Tim
scared
Burton
me
too.
as a kid, but I remember I was confused as a kid when watching it.
Let me tell you what, Penguin freaked me out.
I remember the
as a
part when
kid.
he bites that guy's nose.
Yeah, it was weird, but Danny DeVito is an awesome.
Yeah, I love Danny DeVito.
Danny
he
DeVito's
was a
an
really
amazing
good.
actor.
He
You
was
know,
a really good choice for that.
I
And
think
Tim Burton did that one too, because that was
Yeah.
another Michael Keaton one.
I think my favorite Danny DeVito role though would have to be Frank from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't know. Him playing the father in Matilda was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
He was-
Matilda.
He was pretty good in Twins too.
He's also in Throw Mama Off the Train.
Throw Mama off the train. I have not seen that, but that sounds hilarious.
It's a comedy with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, it's obviously. Oh, he plays in more than one movie with Arnold.
Yeah, he does actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Danny DeVito is a fantastic actor. Have you guys seen When Mars Attacks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's in that too, isn't he?
I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
He's
He
like
is.
he's like a cheap like casino guy or something like that.
Yeah, he's like at the casino and they get attacked by the aliens.
That movie was so ridiculous.
So I caught up on a couple of movies recently. The first one was Now You See Me Too.
I have to
I
watch
haven't
that.
seen either of those.
The first one
Oh,
was really
they're
good. Was
good.
it? How was the second one?
It was really good.
Was it even better than the first?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I have to see it. I could watch it.
Mind blowing.
I could watch it on the
Redbox.
I can. I don't need a red box. I can watch it on my Fire Stick
With what? Amazon?
with my Amazon Fire Stick.
Nice.
Yeah, I can watch anything I want on that.
Yeah, but you gotta rent the movies from Amazon, don't you?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys seen Kubo? I like that movie.
Kubo
No.
and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
That movie did not look good to me.
Oh, you're mistaken, my friend.
How about Moana? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that
I
one.
haven't
heard
seen
that-
that actually.
I heard
no.
that
I
one's-
want to.
My brother Daniel was watching that the other day. You know what? Actually, I was listening to our podcast that day, like one of our past recordings, and it was the one where we were talking about Moana being controversial. Remember that one, Aaron?
Yep.
And I came home and I went in my brother's room to talk to him and just chill for a minute, and he was watching Moana. And he says it's a good movie, so
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It's just me personally. I just want a Disney movie with no musicals. Like, I don't know.
there's oh, you know,
They've
you
done
know,
it before.
almost. Which one?
Like,
They've got a few that don't have
Chicken
songs.
Little wasn't a musical.
Was that
Chicken Little had
Disney?
some really good music to it, but it wasn't a
Wait,
musical.
Yeah.
wasn't Chicken Little like Pixar?
No, it's
Or
Disney.
DreamWorks?
Wreck-It Ralph wasn't a musical either.
How to Train Your Dragon doesn't have music in it, but that's DreamWorks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, back to what I was saying. So, I watched that movie. That was really good.
Which one?
The one I just told you about.
Now You See Me Too?
Yes. And then I watched Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life. Really good movie.
Really?
Really good movie.
I've never even heard of that one.
Oh, yes, you have. It was the one where the kid, the principal has like this book. It was like a really strict like rule book for the school, and so he rebels, and he like one of his pranks is he literally puts sticky notes all over everything, like the chairs, tables. You haven't seen the commercial for that?
Nope. Is it new?
I think I have.
It came out in 2016.
Yeah,
He
I
like
haven't heard
sticky
of it.
noted all
Yeah,
that.
I remember that.
He hooked up like food coloring to the water sprinklers and
Yeah.
set them off.
Oh,
and-
that's cool.
Yeah, and it's got a really cool backstory behind it too. It's got his little brother had passed away, and in the beginning, it's like you see this kid that he's always with. You find out later that it's his little brother, and it's just like he's seeing him. What it's like does all these drawings. And it's crazy, ridiculous.
That kind of
Huh.
reminds me of that one movie. I think it's a Nicholas Sparks movie, but I don't remember. It was like I think it was like Johnny MacLeod or something. Or I don't
Oh,
know.
it was
Charlie MacLeod.
Charlie MacLeod. That was a good one. That had Zac Efron in it.
Yeah,
That was an
yeah.
awesome movie.
I was insanely tired when I watched it, and I only made it through maybe like the first half hour, 45 minutes. But from what I saw, it was
you
really
need
good.
to go back and watch the whole thing.
From what I saw of it, it was really good.
It was really good. And then the final movie that I caught up on, it was the one called Nerve. Have you guys seen the commercial for that?
I have not.
It's one with like Dave Franco, right?
Yeah.
I want to
got-
see. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's Dave Franco. Is it?
Yeah, it's James Franco's little brother.
Yeah.
It's like a cell phone game or something.
Yeah, what it is it's this game called Nerve, and you can either be a player or a watcher. And the players, it's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's where they dare you to do stuff.
Yup, that's a good
I
one.
watched that movie.
That looks so good.
It was good.
Doesn't it also have what's her name in it?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, what's her name? Isn't she in American Horror Story? Oh wait, you don't watch that. Oh, what's her name?
Emma Roberts.
Yes.
Yes.
Another movie I just watched.
And I just realized that was James Franco's little brother. I didn't
What's
even
his
know that he
name?
was.
Something Franco,
If
obviously.
you stare at him, they look exactly alike. In their
Well, now
face.
that you said that, I can see it. His name's Dave Franco.
Yeah, I just watched Neighbors 2 the other night.
Don't tell me. I wanted to see. That's
It's
one
good.
that's on my list.
It's good. I'll tell you one thing. It ends up being a happy ending for everyone.
That's good.
Yes. And what else? I also
I'm
want
gonna
to.
take that a certain way, Mark.
Oh, that's dirty. I want to see that other movie with James Franco, and it's got Bryan Cranston in it. It's called Why Him. That one looks really good.
There's a lot of really good movies coming out. I
Yeah.
really want to see that Baywatch one. My top on the list is Beauty and the Beast. I really want to see the Beauty and the Beast. You have no idea.
You know what's funny?
What?
Last night when we were watching Splat,
Yeah.
there was an episode of Hey Arnold on when they went to the beach,
Yes.
and they were talking about the Baywatch equivalent of Hey Arnold called Babe Watch.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my god, this is an episode Aaron would love to watch.
Yes.
I
But
think I remember that episode.
mhm.
See? Hey Arnold was awesome.
Hey
Yeah, I love
Arnold
Hey
was a
Arnold.
very good
So
show.
was All That.
Invaders
Keenan
Zim.
and Kel.
The only really Nickelodeon show that I did not like at all was Real Monsters.
I hated
That was
Fairly
really
Odd
good.
Parents.
That
I
show
like
was
Fairly Odd Parents.
Real Monsters was creepy as hell to me.
Anyway, so the last thing I want to discuss with you guys real quick.
Go ahead.
So I heard today. Have you guys seen America's Got Talent?
No,
Not at all.
A little bit.
Okay.
not in
Just-
a long
just
time.
So
clips here and there
you
are
guys know
fine.
Nick Cannon's on the host
Yeah,
of
I
America's
know about
Got
that.
Talent. He's leaving as host.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is he
Um,
the guy from Maroon 5 or whatever?
He's
I
from
don't
like
know.
Nickelodeon and stuff
Nickelodeon?
back then.
He's from
I'm trying to
Nickelodeon.
think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't keep track of all those shows. I know
Remember
that
he,
the
like-
guy from Maroon 5 is on one of those shows.
He, like-
He's on The Voice.
Yeah,
Voice.
he used to like host the Kids Awards and stuff. I think.
Right.
Okay.
But
My apologies.
anyway, no, Nick Cannon kind of made America's Got Talent because like if there's an act that's really bad, he'll go
Yeah,
out
he
there
knew
and-
it's like improv.
Yeah, he'll go out there and he'll be like, "Oh, give him another chance," and he'll try to do the act with it. Like he adds character to the show, and he's leaving because he doesn't feel like he's being treated fairly. Like he hasn't gotten any other gigs on CBS. I think that's the channel that it's on.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't gotten any other gigs on that network.
Really?
But I mean, he's played the movie Drumline, and he's got a lot of work behind him. And he's a very good actor, so I don't know why they wouldn't take him like that. But the fact that he's leaving, I probably won't even watch the show anymore.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be that hard for him to find another job too.
Oh, not at all. I mean, but he's an awesome actor.
Like,
And
yeah,
it's funny because he actually came out of the show All That.
yeah, you're right.
That was his first. It's kind of like a Gabriel Iglesias. He was on All That originally too.
Kind of thought he was a better actor than Keenan and Kel, like Nick Cannon.
Yeah, but they were really good too.
Yeah,
I really like Keenan and Kel.
yeah, they're
Then
more.
they came out with the movie Good Burger. Have you seen the movie?
Oh
the
yeah,
movie
I
Good
remember
Burger
Good
was
Burger.
amazing.
That came from All That.
Yeah,
was
it did.
That
A lot of stuff came from all that.
that was an All That skit, is what it was. It's kind of like Drake and Josh.
Yeah, it really was. They
because-
were.
Oh my god.
No, they
because
were in
they
the
spawned-
Amanda show, not all
No,
that.
yeah, no, they were on All That. They were.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, Amanda Bynes and all them were on All That. She broke off and had her own show. They joined on with her, and then Drake and Josh had their show that spun off from the Amanda Bynes show, and then the girl who played Megan had her spin-off show, which was called iCarly,
iCarly was a pretty good show.
which Drake Bell helped her write the theme song for iCarly.
Yeah, he played in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He didn't play in the show.
No,
No,
he
not in
he
the
was like the
show.
guitarist
Yep.
for yeah.
He
That's
played
cool.
in the.
Whatever happened to Drake Bell? Like
He's
still
like
around.
voice acting now. I think he's Spider-Man in the new Disney cartoon.
the last time I saw
He's,
Drake
he's
Bell,
still around.
the last time I saw him do something, he was Timmy Turner in that god awful live
Yeah, that
action
was
Fairly Odd
awful.
Parents movie.
But now he's Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's
See, I
Spider-Man.
want them to come back and do like a Drake and Josh movie again.
That'd be crazy, especially since they're all like a lot older.
I know they really want to do
I can
it.
imagine like all the jokes like do is Josh, like, hey, you're all fit and good looking.
Well, no,
now."
he started to get fit near the end of the show.
Oh yeah, you're right. But he looks so different now.
Oh
He
yeah.
does.
Well, it was funny because the last episode of Drake and Josh, it showed them fighting over something, and then it flashed back to the Amanda Bynes show when it was like a skit of them behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and they were fighting over something, and that's how they ended the series of Drake and Josh.
Really?
Kind of like
That's
ended
cool.
as it started.
I like that.
Yeah, it was a really good ending.
I think that's like the
So
only
wait,
thing
so
I
they
really
played it
liked
off-
from the Amanda show
so they
too.
so they played it off as if the entire series was just a skit on the Abandoned Bynes show.
No, they played it off like what they did is like Drake and Josh like one of them had something and the other one's like stole it from him, and he's like, "Hey, give that back," and they're fighting over it, and then it showed that, and that was the clip from the Amanda Bynes show, but they were doing Drake and Josh,
Mm-hmm.
so they did that same skit, and then it like fades to black, and then it brings up a clip from the Amanda Bynes show of them doing that exact same skit.
Oh,
So
so it's like bittersweet.
it was bittersweet. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much it. We're out of time. You guys got anything else you need to say?
Not much. Just thank you very much for having me.
No problem. You're welcome back anytime.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And for me, I'm looking forward to all the superhero movies we got coming this year.
Me too.
There's
Well,
gonna
I'm
be
looking forward to all the movies we have coming this year.
Yeah, there are gonna be some good ones
There's
this
going to
year.
be some awesome ones, which we'll talk about a little bit next week.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, I'm Eric Klingsmith,
And I'm Mark Wilson.
I'm Jacob.
signing off.